last night with 126 viewers.
Not
shitting you.
Nice job.
Yeah,
man.
that was awesome. I was like, thank you, Cargos. Like, that was so real, dude. That was unreal.
All right, we
like,
should be live now. Check yours, program. I'm gonna check mine. Got some beta footage going on in the background at the moment.
Yes.
Okay, we live. We live.
You live? All right.
Yeah, we're live.
mine.
Go ahead and throw the host over.
All right, I will throw the host
some
over.
mage
Everybody
fist
on mine,
gloves just
I'm
dropped.
throwing
Hello.
the host over for our Goodnight Azeroth
Those some good
podcast / show. Do we call it a podcast? I don't even
I'd
know.
say it's a
I kinda
podcast.
call it a podcast, right? Yeah. Okay, okay. Let me throw the host / host. Oh.
All
Make
right,
sure I spell it right. I don't want
we good.
to.
Looks like it's good. I'm not gonna be able to pay attention to chat too much, so y'all will have to watch that for me because I got so much shit going on my screen. I can't really do all that.
Okay, there we go. I am hosting it. Good.
But nonetheless, we are here.
Did it
So,
say Hypnotic hosted you, Program? Sorry about that.
no, you
Uh,
good?
I think it did.
Yep,
in
it
the
did.
chat
11
there.
views. Thank you so much for bringing
Dope.
this 11.
Yep.
Dude, don't you
Welcome,
know I got
everybody.
the sick warrior DPS with eating a fucking firehouse sub at the same time?
You got the Firehouse sub, dude. That's dope, man.
As per my
Firehouse
viewers
is so
earlier,
good.
we took a straw poll to see what I was gonna eat for dinner.
So
That's actually
big
super
news-
awesome,
big
actually.
news for everybody that's watching. Our good friend Atticus from Goodnight Azeroth. It was news to me. Just got into the freaking beta yesterday, dude.
Yeah,
It's a little nuts, though, man.
I didn't realize I had it. I was an idiot. I've had it for a while apparently.
See, well, can you even show the launcher? Like, I'd be curious too, because we just talked about it, and that may be too much trouble for you.
Yeah, I can't do all that right now.
Because it looks like I have the.
Yeah,
and I
well,
think
see,
everybody else gets
that
the
was
same.
You
the
do.
thing.
Technically, it does show up in some of them that you actually have like the beta on your client right now, but whether or not you get in, it's, you know.
Well, when they were doing all that, like switching around with like the names of the different betas and whatnot, that's when I was like, whatever, it's not mine. I'm not even gonna check. And then go and check, and lo and behold, I've got it. And I'm like, oh, okay. I might have had it longer than that because I quit checking a long time ago because I was just like, I give up.
Yeah.
So I probably
Yeah,
got
sure.
in with the last wave or whatever and just was a lazy piece of shit.
You lazy
Yeah.
bum.
I am lazy bum.
I've got the beta running with our class. The play button doesn't work, so yeah.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing I got going on too. I can go ahead and I can look at some stuff. I can play around with different things, but I can go into like the classic WoW side of things. But yeah, no.
Yeah, I can attempt to log in, but it doesn't log me in. You know what I mean? It's just
Yeah,
the
yeah.
servers are down. It's like I was super excited the other day because I tried it. I was like, oh look, it says I have beta.
Oh, by the way, real quick, for those who are in my Twitch right now, I want you to type some stuff in for me because real quick, if I type in !com, there we go. Each one of those little fun things right there. We do Atticus, for instance. There's a link to his YouTube. You can do the same thing for Grays. Do the same thing. Well, it'd help if I spelt it right. There you go. That's for Grays, and you can also do it for Hypnotic.
That
sends
mullet, though.
right off to his Twitch. And then there's also Classic, which will take you to ClassicWow.live. I'm going to put these up on a roller right now. I'm just trying to work on the timing of it because Nightbot, last time I did it, went nuts. So you guys might see that pop in and out of chat while we're talking tonight because I'm probably going to be working on it on the side.
By the way, I got this fine-ass lady behind me, Miss Courtney. She ain't paying attention.
She's
Nice.
just chilling right there.
What is a lady?
What is a grill?
What?
She has vowed to make sure I'm not dead during the Classic WoW launch when I've disappeared from the world for 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
Good on
She's
her.
gonna come check on you.
Yeah, she's
that
gonna
guy.
at least make sure
Yeah,
I'm
girl.
alive.
I mean, guy. Jesus.
So coming off this topic, and Baron, tell me how I'm doing on my mic, if it sounds good or not. But you know, Atticus, you just got into the beta. What are you feeling right now? Are you relieved? Are you happy that you got in? I know that the hype's kind of died down on the beta.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to gauge. It feels like I just started on a private server, like, because there's just not much, like, I mean, it'd be different if I got in, like, back then.
Yeah.
If I got in, like, when everyone else did, when I was
Missed the
like,
hype
okay,
train, right?
we've got, like, 4 months to play this. It's gonna be great, or 3 months, or whatever.
Everybody's already all the way up there.
Yeah.
You know?
But now it's just like, and there's like hardly anyone playing because everyone's just like gone to you know, like they're just kind of done. They're just like ready for the real one.
Right. Yeah.
With the level cap only being 40, there's only so much you can do. But my goal, I guess, is just to hit 40 and try to get as much gear as I can, have some fun in some PvP, and then like be ready in case if they do decide to increase the level cap back to 50 or to 50 or whatever. And then I can just like actually be on somewhat of a level field as everyone else.
Hey, it's still cool that you're doing, you know, you're doing it up with Def Camp and running that.
I didn't even know
WC
that
in
he
the
had a
background there.
character this level, so I was really surprised.
Yeah, he just started like the other day.
Yeah. Yeah, I just started this guy yesterday. Leveling is not that difficult on here. Like, the only times I've died was when I was trying to do stupid shit.
Wow.
Kind of how it goes.
So I think that the leveling is actually easier on this.
It's that 1.12.
Yeah.
1.12 database.
Thermo.
I don't know. I guess, man.
Oh, you're not wrong, man.
Welcome, Thermo. Welcome.
Welcome, guys. Welcome.
But yeah, Atticus, I'm just curious because of, for instance, if I got accepted into the beta right now, I don't know if I'd be playing it day in and day out. I'm serious, and for a few reasons, like the hype's kind of died down, and really the biggest reason is preservation. I played in the last stress test, the 48-hour stress test that they had, right? I literally played like 40 of those 48 hours.
You went hard, dude. That 24-hour stream.
Yeah, no, dude, I went. Yeah, I did like 12 and then another 20. After I finished it, you know, it was great, but this sense of like euphoria that I've had, this expectation for the game, it just started to wear, and it's like, okay, now we're just playing classic. And now, you know, it's not that there's nothing that I'm looking to expect anymore. You know, and not that the game's not great, and I'm gonna continue to enjoy it, but like I don't know how much of that euphoria I want to wear off before the game actually drops, and if it's even possible for that to happen. Like Atticus, in your situation, I know you're gonna be playing day in and day out. I know you probably don't care, but like I don't know. I'm
just looking at it as like just some weird little like, you know, level 40 twink server. That's what I'm looking at it as. Just like something to just dick around with and have fun with.
Really weird.
But like the main drag of it, like the main thing that like is like weighing on me is I'm just like, it doesn't matter. It's not really me. It's not that like it's gonna disappear. Like it's just lame.
Yeah. I even got that playing like the normal, like the stress test and stuff like that. I'm like, I got really hyped, and then all of a sudden I was like, I don't really want to go do much of else besides just stick around.
Yeah.
Because there's not gonna be a point for it.
Yeah.
Some of us melee things seem easier. What? Less health and armor.
Yeah, well, I'm curious everybody's thoughts in the chat right now. I know everybody's just dying. I mean, what are you doing right now? You're just watching streams. If you had access to the beta, would you just play your heart out and just max out between now and launch day, or what are your thoughts on that if you had it? Just curious.
Way over level content.
Yeah, Thermophile, I enjoy playing way over leveled content like ZF and Ultimate or ULA I'm playing right now. Okay. That's what's up, Thermo.
Way over, I like that.
Playing right now, son. Damn.
Where are we going? What the fuck is everybody doing?
What we doing? Where are we going?
But anyways, yeah, and maybe we can transition into what's everybody doing to get prepared for the game. Dude, today marks 60 days. I haven't checked the exact calendar, but I think it's 60 days out. We're right around the corner, dude.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's
months,
exactly
baby.
60 days right now.
8 weeks, man. What, 8 weeks? What is everybody doing between now and launch coming out? Are you creating your own spreadsheets? Do you have your own game plan? Are you trying to get healthy? And maybe we can just go around the table, and as we share our
we do that.
things that we're doing to get prepared, everybody else can share in the comments.
Yes. I can start because I actually have literally like I literally have pages, like pages and pages. Let's see, there's 6 pages right there, and that's just Prot Warrior pre-raid biz, along with my own information that I writ in there. I also have a classic warrior guide that I wrote myself with all my weapon progression and everything else that's coming straight out through in color to remind me what do I need to get. And then your stat priority listings and my talents that I'm exactly going through. And then I have even a raid P1 warrior tanking best in slots full list. I know that's probably too hard to see on my camera, but like a full listing of each individual piece of armor and where it drops at. So I've also, you know, you got to take that PTO. You gotta make sure you're good with everything. As far as your real life goes, you got to make sure it's good with the fiance, wife, what have you. Basically anything that involves real life, you got to make sure you're all set for. And also, very important is that you set like the week before or like 2 days before, you know, you make up some good food, or something like that you can have quick refrigerator, or if you got your fiance that can give you that, or you know, what have you. Yeah, exactly. You got to be able to have that set, and then have your, you know, drinks on hand, food on hand. You can quickly microwave, what have you. So that's my whole game plan for the first week. And my leveling partner. Make sure you get a leveling partner if you can try and line one up. I got my my buddy Law of Chaos here. We're actually dual leveling as we speak right now. So. Nice. So I was doing right before that, and we're still dual leveling in Mulgore right now on
back to that
on
hot pocket
Voldemort
life.
On a Voldemort server, because you know some of us don't get into beta.
Yeah, the next video I do is gonna be on the diet and the home like workout plan. I'm gonna show stuff with weights and without weights. I mean, a lot of it's probably just gonna be pretty basic, but still, it's like stuff you can do, you know, and like the way you do it in, and I'm gonna explain like why it's helpful and all that.
Absolutely. No, I'm looking forward to that. There's no content on that, Atticus, and I'm really curious to see what you're going to come up with.
That's what I try to do. I keep trying to put out stuff that, like, nobody's done. I think my plans for Classic is the only video I've done that's, like, been the same as somebody else. Like, exactly the same.
For sure. For sure.
But just a discussion video.
Just a discussion video.
This is what my life is going to look like. It's exactly what it's gonna look like.
Man, what's up? What's on the chopping block for you?
For me,
between now and Classic, what are you doing?
Okay, so I haven't talked to you guys in literally a week. So my life went from like I'm gonna kind of probably work the same job and wonder what the hell's gonna go on with my PTO for that, because I get PTO like shit, to now I have like 3 job offers and I'm trying to figure out where the fuck I'm gonna go.
Yo, what you do is you ask all 3 of them, hey, so Classic WoW is coming out on these days. I need these 2 weeks off. Can you give me that?
Here's the cool thing.
Exactly.
Here's the cool thing. One of the companies is 160 hours of PTO right off the bat, and it's like 58,000. So, and that's like, I'm just gonna be like, so can I put in PTO for like August? And if they're okay with it, I'm just gonna be like, done.
Yeah.
I don't have to worry about PTO at all, except for when we go to BlizzCon later this year, and then, yeah.
That's how you're going to choose your next job. Who's going to give me paid time off for...
That's exactly what I'm saying. It's horrible sounding.
No, it's not horrible sounding, dude. That played a factor whenever I started my job, because I told my boss at the beginning, I was like, yo, I'm just letting you know, like, I got something I got to do in August, or whenever. I just said at some date. And he was like, yeah, I mean, you just want to go be a nerd for 2 weeks, it's fine.
I'm looking to see what happens.
My boss said.
I don't know what the jobs are going to be like. Some of them are kind of, I understand what they are. They're going to be off the phones for once. It's going to be making people's accounts in AD, Active Directory, some coding with PowerShell and Java. But outside of that, I mean, I'll be working for the same company, but their PTO benefits go from like 4 hours of PTO for every like 40 hours you work to like I get a whole ton of PTO right off the bat. I'm like, okay, that's worth it. Outside of that, worrying about my job situation, which is definitely going to change in the next like 3 weeks. Direct concerns after that are making sure that I have a slew of healthy food to sit around my house, because I do not want to be a tubby.
Yeah.
I'm actually able to do, for the first time in a very long time, 15 push-ups off my knees without like wanting to die.
You been working out, dude?
Yeah, I do. I'm up to 30 push-ups a day. That's my thing. I'm working up to 100 push-ups a day. I did it for 3 days in a row once, and I hurt so bad. I'm like, I'm not doing this right. I'm gonna hurt myself. But I did 100 push-ups on and off the knees. I did 10 sets of 10. 10 sets of 10. So like I would be in the aisle by my cubicle at work, getting down, like just. And, no, I am working out. I haven't lost a whole lot of weight, but you know I'm kind of stabilized right now. But I'm not. The only place I'm gaining weight is around my belly still.
I actually just looked at you, and I'm not even kidding. I'm not just saying this. It looks like you're losing it in the face, but that could just be because you cut your beard. I don't know.
I did. I trimmed that shit down.
Yeah,
you can tell. You can. I'm not as thick around the neck as I used to be.
That's
like,
good.
Even months ago. So.
Just keep it up, dude.
Nice.
As I'm shoveling macaroni and cheese in my face.
Right.
No, bro, it's okay.
I
I
just
had a
had-
chicken chili before, and then that chicken chili was also chased with a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Nice.
So-
That's a good chaser. I like the chaser.
I've been doing
I
a
just
few
had
PB&Js
Olive
late at night.
Garden chicken Alfredo right now.
Oh, that Alfredo.
Yeah,
it's
so
good.
what I'm doing to get prepared for the game, obviously,
Yes, sir.
if you follow me at all, I'm trying to do a complete list of dungeon guides, and dude, that's about to hit hard. 60 days.
I'm
the
excited.
pressure's on. I got like 12 dungeons left. That's one every 3 days. So a forum post, a
You're crazy,
video,
man. You're
a
crazy.
1-minute guide. So I got a couple things like the 60 days. That's priority. I wanna get into shape somehow. I wanna be waking
Hold
up,
up.
running at least a mile a day, and doing 20 to 30 push-ups a day, just to keep my cardio up. And because
say-
whenever the game comes out, I don't want to be a dude. Not being healthy is the worst thing for Classic WoW. I'm not going to be able to stay up for 30 hours straight, go to sleep for 6 hours, and do 30 hours again if I'm not in shape.
I may have just found a bug.
No way.
So I was like, I'm sitting here, there's 2 mobs, and one dodges my attack, and it dies, like, right after it dodges me. And then I just keep spamming overpower because I was, like, just in the middle of spamming it, and I automatically switched to the next target and looked like I overpowered him.
No.
Which
You're
is
not supposed to work that way.
Not supposed to work that way. I'm going to test it more later on. I'm going to start trying to, like, pull multiple mobs and see if I can...
I believe there was a blue post about overpower that actually it is supposed to work that way.
I mean, that would be cool,
Isn't that weird stuff?
but...
Yeah, I thought I saw a blue post earlier.
Oh
that
man, I need the
about
potato
overpower
chips.
specifically like that, but
I will say this, guys. One of the most important things for getting ready for the game between now and launch day, and this is a big one for me, is reading up on Tauren lore. I know all the lore about my
Okay.
character.
Nice,
And that's
dude, I
something
like it.
encourage everybody that's playing, at this point, you've probably got your race class duo figured out, and it goes deeper than the race, dude. Like the lore for Tauren druids specifically, regardless if you were a Tauren shaman, it'd be pretty different, just because shamans and druids walk a different life. Druids give
They're both
ode to the
hippies,
Earth
shut
Mother. They're tied in with the Night Elves, right? And tie in that Tauren lore, the spiritual Tauren lore, with the Earth Mother as a druid, dude. Oh, it goes so deep, dude. So a Tauren druid and a Tauren shaman are completely different. So reading up on the lore is gonna be a big. It's a big deal for me coming back, dude. We're getting Classic WoW, guys, and this is something that we couldn't. Even if the game had dropped, well, I don't know. I was young, playing Warcraft, the Warcraft series, all these other things. Everybody was familiar with the trolls and the humans. if you were a big Dungeons and Dragons guy and you were reading up all the pieces that the developers wrote, I guess you could kind of get ready for this. But dude, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. And so the better I know my character, who I'm playing, the better experience I'm gonna have, dude. I'm gonna be walking around freaking Bloodhoof Village telling everybody, oh dude, and my name, oh my gosh, I'm gonna give myself a freaking druid name. So I don't know if I'm gonna level
RP the crap out of it.
Oh dude,
I'm gonna roleplay
level
so hard.
Graze for Days first or Graze for Days. And the second iteration, the druid name or the Tauren name is gonna be GRAZE for DAZE, and just the idea of grazing for days. And like, it's gonna fit my personality because I'm gonna explore, I'm gonna take things slow, I'm gonna do all the dungeons, I'm gonna complete every quest. Like, dude, I'm literally grazing for days. And then all the Taurens, dude, they got like all these tribes have their last names, and so I need to pick out the best last name that fits my personality the best. And I'm gonna be Graze for Days. What are their last names? I can't even think right now. You see them in Thunderbluff all the time. Like, Rune Totem's not one of them, but something like that.
Humul, yes, I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
Rune Totem is.
Rune Totem's one of
So
them.
graze for days. So what are we talking, like grazing like grass, or are we talking about graze? Okay.
Yeah.
So
Grazing.
why not like graze for days, grass hoof?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Or you're a druid. Thornmane. That sounds more edgy. Thornmane. That sounds edgier. I like
Or
that.
something with hoof. Graze for
Or hoof.
days.
something hoof.
Graze for days.
Blood hoof.
Gray hoof. Gray hoof.
Gray hoof. Yeah, dude,
Gray
something
hoof.
like that.
Make your own tribe.
Make it look
There's so many bugged mobs in this WC, dude. Like, they're all under the fucking map and shit, and they won't come out. They're evade bugs.
That's crazy.
BTW, Thermophile does say here, the revenge works the way you guys were talking about, but overpower should not be working the way it's working right now.
Got you. Hey, by the way, somebody watch my YouTube because there's people talking on there and I can't get to them all when they say it. But
sorry guys.
Welcome,
We got Connor here.
Yeah,
we
I'm
got
looking
Beer
at it.
Hoof. We got Bear Hoof. Sorry, Bear Hoof.
Yeah, nice. Nice, Connor.
Days Gray Hoof. There you
go. One thing, and guys, it's interesting because I want to be in the role-playing element, but I also want all my characters to be different iterations of Grace for Days. If I'm on an alt, I want everybody to know I'm still Grace for Days. Like, I don't want my identity to be lost because I'm not on my main, right? And I think that not a lot of people do that, but a few people do. And so it's pretty sweet that I stumbled upon this. I think I'm onto something whenever I'm going for Grace for Days. I can still like get the role-playing element while keeping my original name and holding my identity. And so that's one thing I'm really excited about too. So man, and that's something to consider. Are you guys gonna have like a bunch of different names, or are you gonna be Pogrin and Pugrin and Pigrin, or you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, no, I get you.
If
I'm gonna have different names.
If I were to make a ranged character, I would name him Atticast. But that's about as far as it goes. That's about as far as it goes. Everything else, nah, they'll probably just be different names. Like, but I'm still, man, I'm telling you, I'm still like, every day I'm sitting here like, do I want to be orc, or do I want to be undead?
Nah, you want to be Tauren.
No.
Hey, no, that Tauren though, that extra range.
I can't.
I
will never play a Tauren. I will never play a Tauren. But
I had a lot of fun playing my Tauren warrior.
You gotta be the beef.
An undead though. Undeads are like, oh, they're sexy.
Over here, I kicked Graze's ass in PvP. He was 5 levels higher than me. Then again, I don't think he was paying attention fully. No. I got some good crits. No, it was before when we were on the boat. Remember? Like right as we were in Ratchet.
Dang.
I got you with that I got him with that war stop right off the bat, and then I critted him for like I think 75, and then followed by another 45 crit. So it's like I dropped half his HP.
All right, I got it.
If you did do that, thank you nonetheless, because it did feel really good. I'm like, oh damn, I'm good with warrior.
Nice. Thermophile on Twitch. He said, wrote a phase 1 pre-bis list for prot warriors practicing leveling routes, and I took from day 1 to September 6th off from work, and I'm taking the entire weekend off, any screen time, music, and house. I'll be going ham and playing 2 to 3 days straight from the start. Nice.
Nice. You're doing the Thermophile is also doing the 20-hour days after that. Him and his guild are looking for a literal. It's first boss rotation, not boss rotation. What's the word I'm looking for? Raid lockout. Raid lockout, white, like clear of MC.
Nice.
Guys,
it's nuts.
That's actually what we're going for in Invictus. We're going for world first or
good luck for that, man.
Server
guys.
first.
You guys have the indomitable
week.
Strength that I lack to do something like that. What was that?
Okay, so anger management, as we've known, whatever, it's always read, increases the time required for your rage to decay while out of combat by 30%, right? That's all it tells you that it does. I'm sitting here right now, and you can look at it on the stream. I'm not touching anything, I'm in combat, and I'm gaining rage.
So you're telling me it's working the way it should be?
As in, like, it's got the hidden tooltip.
Anger management? Yeah,
it's got the hidden
working. The hidden tooltip is working.
Yeah, thank God. Ooh, and I just got that cloak. Eat it.
Yeah, it should be working. So you said before, Program, that the overpower is supposed to work on other? It's supposed to work on other things that, like, if somebody dodges and that person dies, you should be able to use overpower on a different.
That's what he was saying. That
it sounds like it should
you're supposed to do that, but it's not supposed to do that.
I was pretty positive that was Blizz-like. That was supposed to be happening within that time.
Maybe it was during vanilla, but I mean, I remember in like every other iteration of the game that overpower like only worked on the mob that you hit that dodged you.
Yeah.
But like I said, like I don't remember from back then, so I could be wrong for classic.
So how many guys, and I've seen that before, how many different abilities have hidden tooltips? I'm trying to them off the top of my head.
I don't know either.
That's
I'm like,
tough
because
that's all I know is for warriors, man.
Like it makes no sense. Like later on in the game, they changed it to where that's what it did. So like on private servers, it seemed like someone had just like taken that and made it part of it from like Wrath of the Lich King, because that's what it actually read that it did in Wrath. So now that it's like, you know, doing it like this on a private server, I mean on the official classic server, that means like, okay, Blizzard agrees that it was like that, but still, like, why would you not include that in the tooltip? Because that's a huge deal.
Right, no, so
That
like,
is a huge
does
deal.
Blizzard need to update their tooltips on a lot of different abilities? How did these abilities come to place, guys? And this is a hot topic for everyone that's been questioning the validity of, you know, some of the decisions that Blizzard has made statements on certain mechanics that have been in the game. They say was vanilla-like, and was not. I don't know the specifics, but I know North. I don't know if North is watching, but he's made some good points. Some other people have speculated, like, some of the conclusions they've come to has almost proven, like, guys, y'all don't really have the 1.12 data, or like that's what it seems.
Yeah, I mean,
it's completely possible that Blizzard's just been like, hey, yeah, we have the 1.12 data.
Like,
and
no, it's
meanwhile
totally
they just have a freaking Drums of War server loaded up.
Right.
It's like, this is it, guys.
We
No,
got
Meanwhile, back at Blizzard HQ.
yeah. No,
Sorry.
seriously,
Slams fist on
I've
table.
seen streams lately. I've seen people speculating on it. There's some pretty convincing arguments that they've had. It's like, how could these guys have the original data if they're still using like things from the 8.2 client? I wish I had the specifics, but
Well, I mean, honestly, what they probably did is they had the data and they went, okay, what works, what doesn't work, and then they had to gut more than 75% of it, and then literally backwards engineer it, just like the P servers.
Yeah. I mean,
That
but
is
see,
probably
it doesn't
the
make
most
any sense to
accurate.
me because, like, how in the hell is like a Fortune 500 company or whatever you want to call them? I don't know if they actually are or whatever. Not keep backups of everything, dude. I have backups of every single little asset that I've made for any of my stream stuff. Like, if my computer crashed tomorrow and I were to have to get a new one, I'd have everything exactly as it was, like the way it was.
sure. Well, didn't you guys hear back in the day? Didn't they make a comment? They sold the old data. They sold the
Yes.
1.12 files to something. Like, what was
Oh,
up with that?
yeah, I think I do
what was
remember
that?
So the big thing is that what they did is so the server blades and all that stuff, those actually had data on them and everything. And they sold those.
Oh my
They sold them
God.
off for they did it for charity.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
remember
So when they
hearing
made
about
that joke that they needed server blades back, they probably weren't joking.
I know,
Hey
right?
guys,
That's what I'm
we
saying.
need those things. Bring them back, please.
Just gonna let you guys know we need to take our charity back. We'll pay you for them.
But yeah.
Sold server blades, not the data. That's
Yeah, exactly. Okay.
I mean,
I don't know. What I think really what ends up happening is Blizzard Entertainment back in the early 2000s, when a lot of people didn't really care about going back to what was. Everyone was focusing on new graphics, new physics engines. Everything was kind of in development. Gaming was kind of more of a wild, wild west scenario. They probably looked at it and went, you know what? We don't need any of this data anymore. We're not worried about it. We're focusing on BC. We're focusing on Wrath. And then when they got bought out, or not bought out, but when they joined forces, quote unquote, with Activision, they got an overhaul for all this, and they were like, well, we don't have to worry about any of this, but they probably have all the data from like 2010, 2009 when they merged forward, perfectly stored. But anything prior to that was just like, meh.
By the way, Death
Yeah.
Camp is doing an amazing job shaman tanking. It's like 100%
I see that.
viable.
I see that right now. It is.
Like, if you've got, especially if you've got like a competent like class with a taunt ability as well, like, because there's been a few times where I've had to like taunt some stuff to keep them off of our healer and whatnot. But like, aside from that, you're good. Like,
yeah, oh, can we transition into some gameplay? Because during that stress test, I did the 5-man 15 Wailing Caverns run.
Wiped, okay.
Oh, it was amazing. But I want to go into some gameplay. Atticus, you're a warrior right now, and you're not tanking. I was playing as a druid, and we had a warrior as the main tank in that 15-man group, right? In the environment, it kind of incentivized me off tanking and having two mobs. Like, you needed two tanks in there at level 15 just to take some of the weight off the main warrior, right?
Yeah.
But, like, in a 5-man group, say we're all level 18 in Wailing Caverns, I know it's scaled down, and it's not necessarily needed because you can kind of blow through this content with a competent 5-man group. What do you think about like a meta of having two tanks in a 5-man dungeon run? Because I absolutely love it. I love the idea of it. It's so much more interactive. Like, how many times have you guys played in 5-man groups? And it was kind of, this is more, whether it's private server memory or like even Wrath of the Lich King, Cataclysm, Mists of Pandaria iterations. Whenever somebody other than the tank would pull, like, people would get pissed off. The tank's like, why are you doing my job? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing that?
I still get pissed.
Yeah, no, I know. And I'm sure you do. That's what I'm saying. But like, as a druid, dude, I loved having the second guy on me because I could handle it, and it made the 5-man dungeon different. It made the playthrough different for everybody else. The healer kind of had to keep tabs on me, and it wasn't that bad, but it took some of the weight off the main tank. And I like, as a druid, I almost always want another main tank to come in and I just want to be that hybrid player. I want to be the guy that can off tank, and I'm gonna do it every time. Like every pull, I'm gonna take a second guy because if I need to, I can get out or stomp, throw a heal on me, throw down a hibernate.
Another thing about classic. I mean, I don't know. I think that like. Let's take it like this. Okay, there was a million MMOs, whatever, that have existed, and the theory or the way that they are traditionally always played is one person is the tank, one person is the healer, the rest are DPS, and that was maybe not pioneered, but definitely like set in stone by Classic WoW, because like WoW was the best MMO, so it led the way for a lot of what we think of how games should be played nowadays as far as MMO goes. But we got to remember that we weren't that intelligent with Classic WoW back then. Maybe the meta actually should have been like a tank, an off-tank like / support character, 2 DPS, and then a healer. Because like that's kind of what I've been doing in this. Like I'm not dealing the most damage, but I've been able to taunt shit off of other people, and we're 4-manning right now because that fucking rogue just DC'd as soon as we walked in. But and it's been fine. I mean like, maybe everybody got it wrong to begin with. Maybe we weren't thinking outside the box enough.
Sure. So
exactly.
Okay, go ahead.
Sorry. Not thinking outside the box is definitely something a lot of people I don't think have done. I think a lot of people, when they were growing up playing this game, or even afterwards, when you got into BC and Wrath of the Lich King, they were so focused on what they were told when they first started playing, which is shamans are for healing, priests are for healing, paladins are for healing, warriors are the really only good tank, rogues are the only really good DPS. Except for mages. Mages are only there for the cookies, which is just a stupid way of thinking about it because it was an easy way of doing it. You kind of just sat back, you relaxed, you were like, okay, I don't have to think about it, I don't have to worry about it, it'll just work the way I want it to. But now that we have Classic WoW out, now that we have like we have technically like private servers and people have been able to test stuff on there, but even on private servers with some of the communities that are there, a lot of people are toxic in them. And they're just like, you decide you want to play a ret paladin, you can go right and screw yourself in the face. And it's like, yeah, that's not cool, bro.
But see, at the same time, like that's why the YouTube community is so good, because I mean, I'm gonna be real, I wouldn't let a ret pally, if I was going for hardcore stuff, I wouldn't let any like off stuff in my raids or whatever. It needs to be like 100% micromanaged. But if you're playing like to have fun and do it like casually and whatnot, like SFan has been a huge like person in making more people like be like, yeah, I can play ret pally, it's fine, I don't have to be a healer. It's like, so the community around the game, as long as the right people get their voice out there, then it makes the game better for everyone else. Because
I know, like,
you're not the only person thinking. No, I'm saying people like, if I want to play a ret pally, I'm not the only person who's thinking I want to play a ret pally. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm planning on rolling for my raid. I am not gonna be a healer. I'm going to be an enhancement shaman the entire time we raid. I'm gonna make that shit fucking work.
Good.
I'm gonna show people what I can do.
You remember the video that was like one of the first ones put up on Classic WoW, the ret pally who was like a spell pally DPS?
Yeah, the Spelladin? Dude. Oh my god, that Spelladin is so good.
Why can't you do the exact same thing with a shaman?
Right.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah, no, and how many people do you still, oh man, you see it in the forums, you see it in the comments, druids can't take, paladins can't take. I think that's changing a little bit as of lately, but maybe other instances, mages are the best AoE grunts. That's probably a true statement, but just these very set stone statements, right? And I was watching streams earlier, I don't know, a couple weeks ago, I saw Peo and a couple other people, they were doing Razorfin Downs, and they had 3 mages, a rogue, and a warrior, and it was like they didn't have a healer, right? And it was an interesting way to play the game. You know, obviously it's the beta, it may not be the most competitive, but it was like, actually these guys are getting through this content a lot better without a healer in a 5-man dungeon. Like, have you ever thought of that? Like, don't bring a healer to a 5-man group?
Well, in BC...
that sounds kind of nuts, but then again, like... Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying, in BC, I did something like that. Me and just 2 people. I was a rogue, and I was tanking, and we had, like, a warlock, or like a... No. It was a mage, and then a ret pally. And we did, like, SM. Like, we did, like,
true
all
progression.
the SMs with just 3 people. I was tanking on a rogue, we had a ret pally that was doing damage and healing, and then we had a mage that was DPSing. And it was a struggle, but it was like, it was fun because it was just different and like harder. Like we were already good enough to where we didn't need a 5-man group, and we just wanted to try something difficult, and we got more XP because there were less of us in the group. But yeah.
You know, and that's something I'm interested in pushing too. Obviously, I'm excited about exploring this 3-man dungeon meta. But guys, as you're leveling up, you might have a trio, like seriously, or maybe even 4 players. Like you might have 4 homeboys going deep. You don't really want to invite a 5th to your 5-man dungeon group. There's benefits to that. Maybe communication, you don't have an outsider, a little bit better experience. It might not even be that much slower. You'll gain more experience. You've got 1 less person to share loot with, right? There's added benefits to playing the game a little bit different. And so if you're in a 4-man group, it's like, don't feel like you have to get a 5th. Now, if the group wants to get through, they just want to do the quest, they want to clear as quickly as possible, maybe go ahead and invite a 5th. But if you want to play the game just a little bit differently, like I think a majority of the player base, if they were shown that possibility, they would be more inclined to play that way. But that's the thing, it almost takes someone in the community, it takes someone in the group to go, hey, let's do a 4-man group. We don't need 5 people, and we're going to do this. And there's a lot of people, they're like, oh, I got 2 hours, like, let's try it out. And dude, I guarantee you that people don't realize it, but that experience is going to blow them away, and they're going to pass that on to the next person. And it's cool. It's like this communication going through the grapevine almost. It's back again, guys. We're going to Classic, and it's going to spread like wildfire. Dude, did you hear about how these guys cleared this dungeon? Yada yada yada. Like I think it could. I don't know. I'm rambling off the top of my head, but
you're good, man. You're excited.
I'm excited.
You're good, brother. You're good.
I'm like, but see, like, even though I know that this is like a temporary thing with this character, like the higher level I'm getting like a little more excited. I think it was because I went through the level like 1 to 5-ish, 1 to 15-ish so much because of the stress test already. So like that was kind of just like to me. But now that I'm like getting some gear and like doing some higher level stuff, it's like starting to get a little more fun. Like. So maybe it's just because I was just desensitizing myself with all the stress test shit.
Sure.
But, speaking on the things, 1 second, sorry, S-Fan, I was watching him the other night, and he was doing AoE clearing with another pally. It was, he was playing Rhett, and he was using Ravager, and they were just going through SM, and they were just, like, pulling, like, 5 things at a time, and then when Ravager would proc, they'd both have Consecrate down, and he'd just be spinning to win. But it was just another like little way to look at it, or just another way to do things. To touch on what you were saying, but it was cool. What were you saying, Pogren? I'm sorry.
Oh no, I want to get Hypnotic's opinion on this because he's been quiet over there.
Yeah,
I haven't. Sorry, my fiance jumped in here. Was asking me a few questions there for a couple minutes. So I'm sorry, I kind of jumped out of the conversation.
You're okay,
for a little bit. She was like buzzing around me for a minute. I was like, "What are you doing?" Like I'm chopping.
It's good practice for Classic, man. She's gonna be you. You gotta come.
I was like, "What is
you gotta
she
be ready,
doing?"
babe. Leveling in the Barrens.
She comes in, she's like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Give me a moment. Let me finish this.
I'll tell you this though, man. Like I get like when I'm sitting here playing by myself, I start to get like it starts to drag. I'm just like, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? But the second I have people to talk to, it's fucking fun again. So like
exactly.
You have to have people to play with, in my opinion, to like really enjoy it. Oh my god, that's a good
shield. That's why that duo. In my opinion, like I'm playing warrior hands down, you know, just like you, Articus. So it's like, in my opinion, you gotta have a duo squad. You gotta have somebody that keeps you going. You know, you gotta keep each other going and keep each other motivated. My boy Law of Chaos over here. We're about to do RFC and stuff like that, just with the guild on the new Voldemort server and stuff like that. We're farming up to that level right now. We're heading over to Orgrimmar to start the hidden quest chain for Orgrimmar stuff. We are going at it, man.
Def just got fucking Seed Cloud Buckler, dude. 6 intellect, 3 spirit, 566 armor.
That's so good.
So good for shaman tanking.
Intellect, dude.
Yeah.
I always thought it was just for a paladin, but yeah, dude, shaman's a good for that.
Yeah, dude, that's crazy good.
Is that off of? That's off of.
Yeah. We didn't do Cobra on, so hopefully I can get me that belt. I'm the only male wearer in here.
Yeah, Hypnotic. If you need any tips on how to deal with your fiance, I think Atticus has got it down, man. He's got his girl in the back chilling.
And I'm gonna put some salt in that wound to be like, I don't gotta worry about any of that. My fiance sitting right next to me.
Hold up, real quick.
Yeah, she good back there.
Courtney, wave for me.
See, man, Atticus has it
Gotta
down,
get the
bro.
fam. Oh, look at that, the full screen. She
Ain't look. She didn't even wave. She's looking over at you.
She goes. She
there
got
we
it
go.
in there. You're good. She even got the Bluetooth like head. She got the iPod.
Atticus has it down, bro.
Earphones
Need some
in.
pointers.
No, for real though, like
Hey, and mine came in with with food cut up and stuff for me. Man,
wait,
she
what?
had
Hello?
drink. Like,
Hold
come on
Forever
now.
alone.
well, that, yeah,
Come on now,
Courtney's
man.
super
It was
awesome. She's
pretty
like, she's
real, but I
chill,
know
like,
she gets bored though. So she comes in and pokes at me, and I'm like, I'm in the middle of a podcast. Like she's like buzzing around me around my chair and shit. I'm like, oh shit, okay. But sorry. All right, back to the subject at hand.
Yeah.
What were you asking my opinion for? I'm sorry. We complete off.
So no, I wanted to get your opinion on quote unquote meme specs. I know Thermophile is going to call them meme specs, but I'm going to call them fringe specs. But because I don't think certain things I think some things are going to be pretty memey. Like what's his name? Caperfin, and somehow making Priest Tank a thing. That's memey because the way in which you got to go about doing it. But I just want to get your opinion on that. Like, are you going to be looking to do anything crazier? I know you're gonna be obviously a main tank for a guild, but like, are you gonna try to help anybody else get up there? Like, are you gonna try to bring a shaman off tank for you, doing like AQ and stuff like that?
Can I ask real quick, Hypnotic, and just and this doesn't have to be too personal, and it doesn't matter if you go one way or another. Are you more of a mainstream player? Like, whenever you look up a build, how to play the game, do you look it up and you just almost copy it for what it's worth?
Not at all, man. If you just saw all of those spreadsheets and everything I've made at work, and all this stuff is my own personal thing that I went into involving that. But as far as specs goes and stuff like that, I always go off the cuff.
Hey guys,
what I want to do when I want to go. Yeah, what's up, brother?
My beta's installing something right now on my computer.
Oh, mine
it's
did
an
that too.
update.
Oh, god damn it! Don't do that.
You're getting tricked.
Okay.
You're getting tricked, my brother.
I got got.
Yeah, I got it.
I got it.
But so as far as meme specs goes, personally, so I'm gonna be tanking all the way up, all the way through for my guild, all the way through every dungeon, like RFC, WC, everything, probably multiple times. I'm gonna be trying to go as fast as possible, so hopefully I can narrow it down to like bring 4 with me and then keep going all the way through and have that niche group, that you take with you. And I already have a healer. I got my Law of Chaos. I got to keep shouting him out. He's gonna be my pocket healer here, carrying me through the barrens, dude. Literally carrying my warrior.
Put me up in your back, bro.
Yeah,
I need it.
Dude, I've literally got like 6 people lined up outside of the game that I know in real life to be my healer because I'm playing the numbers right now. I'm making sure that I have at least 1 out of like 6 motherfuckers. There better be 1.
Yeah, and I got mine locked down, man. We've been doing P server grinding. We both got on beta. We grinded together. Like we've been going hard. We're going hard right now, even like on the brand new Voldemort server. So
yeah.
We got this shit on lock, and exactly what we want to run and specs and everything. So for my specking wise, because of my niche situation where I'll be tanking most of the way, all the way through, I'll be arms.
Hell yeah, dude.
I'm going to be arms hands down. So a lot of people, I would strongly suggest doing Fury.
No.
In my opinion, Fury two-hander is going to be still a good way to go, up to 40 and then switch to arms.
Or you could just stay arms the entire time. Actually,
fucking
and that's
no.
the way I'm going. If you're gonna do any type of tanking, man, do arms the whole way through. In my opinion, tactical mastery is something that you need in your life.
My thing is, arms is the PvP spec, and if you honestly think people aren't gonna start trying to fuck with you by the time as soon as you get in contested territory.
Oh yeah,
that's one of the huge driving factors for it for me.
Yeah.
But I'm actually gonna do a video. I'm gonna do one like side by side comparing like Fury with arms and like weigh them out. Like, okay, look, at level 15 you have these abilities available to you, and you need this ability for this, but you don't need it for this. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna like just show like the plus and minuses as you level, not just like look at them and be like, this is a good spec because of this and this and this. I'm gonna be like, by level 10 you've got this, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But it'll be good to see that, because like that's a big aspect about it to me as well, because like for example, we'll just look at it real quick, just a quick preview. So you've got by the time you're level 12, you can have 3 points in improved rend, or you can have 3 points in increased critical strike, right? But you already have the chance to critical strike. And rend doesn't do enough damage to make it viable unless you get improved rend. So at such a low level, when you have next to no damage, having improved rend gives you far more damage than having that increased chance to crit would, if that makes sense.
Well, with 15, with that 15, or 15, sorry, it would be more than 15.
35%.
35%, sorry, 45. So your rend at 12, I believe, does 28 damage over 12 seconds. So increasing it by 30-something% would be what? Calculator.
Like 30 something. Like right now, mine's I'm ranked 2 and I have 36 damage over 12 seconds.
But I got a question real quick, by you guys, before going to the math here. Hypnotic, have you gotten a chance to play on the stress test at all? I can't remember.
I have, yeah, on the stress test. Yeah, this last stress test. I didn't get there the day of because I had my son that came out. But then the next day, I hit it hard up with my dueling partner there, and we had a lot of fun. My God, it's right. I mean, compared to P servers, connecting over to Russia,
it's pretty damn close. But
it's super smooth though. Like, damn.
Sorry to interrupt. I had questions about it because when I was playing around my warrior, I realized how ridiculously easy it was to multi-mob as a warrior.
Oh yeah, as
like,
a warrior.
Like, you pull 2 mobs, you're gonna die. No.
Compared to what P servers was.
Yeah, I was chain pulling. I was back-to-back chain pulling.
I actually have big ropes about that too, and Grays for days. Speaking of the man himself over here and here, I literally was getting rained with Grays. 4 days.
Yes.
Yes. Literally rained. I didn't get a single fucking bag, but I got a million goddamn full-on mail before level 5.
Yeah, didn't they say that was something that they felt like private servers had wrong, was that there were too many like material stuff dropping versus grays. So like there's actually supposed to be more grays, which actually really helps you out in the low level leveling.
It really does.
Oh, it's everything. It's everything. Like, and if anybody's leveled up on private servers, like seriously, by the skin of your teeth, you have just enough silver to train all your abilities at level 4, train all your abilities at level 6. And, it feels like the grays really they have to be in the loot tables in the 1 to 6 range to give you enough money to train your levels up. It kind of feels like a design thing, right? It was interesting, but yeah, everybody's spoken on that for sure. That grays are dropping like crazy in the 1 to 5 zone.
Yeah, which isn't necessarily a bad thing.
Sure.
Because you still run out of money. Like, I still ran out of money for my abilities and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and get back to the mathematical stuff that you guys were doing.
Oh, no, it's fine. I mean, I've pretty much said it.
No, we're good. We're good now. It's be about 8 damage per 12.
Which is a pretty big deal when mobs' health totals are like, 150 to 160-ish.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a good percentage that's right off the bat. As far as the rend goes, and then after you get the next, what is it, 16 is when your next rend. I can't remember when you get your next rend. It's one of those abilities you don't pay attention so much to when you get the next rank. It's one of those that you're like, all right, I always apply it and all that good stuff. But
that's cool. This add-on for the bag that I'm using, if my bags are like, or if I open my bag or whatever, and then press Control, it highlights the cheapest item for me to like throw out.
Oh, that's
really? That's pretty sweet. No, wait, no, it doesn't, because this one is never mind. Well, because it's a regent, never mind, because it's crocolisk meat and you can use it for cooking, so it wouldn't highlight that one, but it's a great. Anyway, continue.
We got Thermo in here saying even with improved rend, it's not worth the rage that you use on it.
See, I had this debate earlier with somebody, and I disagree, because if you can take the 10 rage otherwise and put it into heroic strike, you're still taking up an auto attack to use heroic strike. So heroic strike is actually costing you more like 25 rage. And then like, well, still they say it's better than rage to do that, and it's like a better use of rage. But rend is guaranteed damage when you land it. And it's also damage that's continuing while that same auto attack that would have been taken up by heroic strike is being used. So I mean, you can, I don't know, there's arguments for both sides, but I'm gonna keep using
It's also interesting too if you're dual leveling with somebody. I mean, in my opinion, that rend has, like, if you're pulling 3 or 4 mobs and you can just rend, that adds up to like a strike every couple of seconds on a different mob, in total damage wise. Like, you can add up very quickly.
Yeah.
But that's depending on exactly what you're doing. If you're doing solo, once you get hamstring, in my opinion, rend is invaluable. If you're doing solo warrior, 100%, you need to improve rend.
That's
You need
another
rend and hamstring it away. Like,
well, that's another topic though, because there's something with the in the beta. Like I noticed it, and it was already apparently a thing that a few people had noticed. The actual like leeway for melee, like range on mobs is different, and you can't really hamstring kite anymore. You can't like totem kite either.
I know, it's disgusting,
you
dude.
can, but
it's not like it's not worth at all.
And real quick, does AoE farming for mages work, dude? You know, you see it all the time on private servers, on the fresh servers. You see all the mages doing it. I've seen it's really hard. I've seen North doing it.
From what Cargos has told me, yes.
Yeah, well, it's different though, because mages
have
mages have like blink, and they have a lot of ways to actually like lock them down in place. Versus where warriors like have to bank on it being like slow and then walking away from it.
Yeah, but the skill cap for a mage to AoE farm is through the roof compared to private servers. I was watching Cargos trying to learn it, and dude, he died every freaking pull for 2 hours, right?
Dude, when I was making that mage leveling video, the speed leveling guide, I took forever to fucking remember how to AoE farm. It was hard.
Fulgrim with that 4,000 viewership, you just broke 4K, my brother.
Oh, I did?
Yeah.
Oh, nice, dude. Nice.
Let me refresh this real quick. Hypnotic. ... There's his by the way, there's oh yeah, 4,021. Woo!
Yes, sir. That's what I was saying, dude. I just broke 3K. Yeah, yesterday actually.
Oh yeah, you did. That's right, man. You're almost at 4K. You know that?
Oh, am I really?
Yeah.
I almost broke 10K today. I think I might have.
Look at this! Look at this stat over
here.
But
Atticus already went up like another 100 subs on freaking YouTube.
I'm at like 1,200 now, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, I broke 10K today.
Grace for Days is over 2,000 plus now.
That's right.
Damn!
Yeah, boy. The numbers lie. Numbers don't.
Good numbers are lying.
Those numbers aren't real. We're all doing good. Everybody, we just got to keep it up. As long as we stay humble and just keep up the grind. No reason why we shouldn't keep progressing.
If there's not a more true statement, oh my gosh.
I mean, like, let's look at Death Camp and Melderon. Death Camp and Melderon and Cargos even are some of the like most prime examples of like humble people. Like I'm not putting down your channel by any means, Pogren, but how many subscribers do you have? And then Cargos comes over there and he does like a stream with you. Like Cargos has like
streams with me at this point.
Yeah, like he has 60K subscribers. Like show me another YouTuber that would do that for the little guy. You know what I'm saying?
That was sick.
No, none. Death Camp Melderon.
Yeah.
Like no.
When I was first starting out, dude, like I just made my first video. I had like 100 followers, and Death Camp's like, "Yo, yeah, I want you on my stream with me so we can just talk over stuff." And I'm like, okay, thanks, dude.
I'm there, bro.
Like, I know what I'm talking about, but at the same time, like, who the hell am I?
I'm just a rando. Don't mind me. I'm just a rando Calrissian.
A rando Calrissian.
Maybe
that's what, when we're playing Cards Against Humanity, when we have a random card we throw in, it's a rando Calrissian.
Hell yeah, dude.
Nice.
Let's backtrack all the way back to let's see. We were still talking about preparedness. We never even got around to who was getting prepared for what, how people were preparing. We never really went into detail with each other.
Oh yeah, no, we never went into detail. No.
So let's just start.
I did.
Yeah, we'll start with Pogren. Pogren, tell me what preparations you've made and what preparations you still need to make.
So we've started a guild. We are up to about 36 members right now. We have a main tank, we got main heals, we got most of the major stuff filled out for our first raiding group. So I've been keeping track of that. We actually got a bunch of Google Sheets is your freaking ally. If you guys want to use something for guild management, Google Sheets will take you there. I have a Google Sheet document that has like 6 tabs in it. It's laying out from our full guild roster to our full guild roster to raiders specifically, to PvPers specifically, to master like blacksmiths, alchemists, giving them sections to kind of go over what they have and show people what they have available right there in a spreadsheet, so they have something linked to them. To like having charts for everything, so we can actually see what eventually we're planning on doing is we're planning on having even a chart to literally show off our raid distribution. So we'll be like, okay, everyone's going to sign up this week for a raid. And then we're going to look at it and be like, okay, we have this many tanks, this many heals, this many, and then it's going to break it down by class. So warriors divided up by how many warrior tanks there are versus warrior DPS, priests versus priest healers versus priest DPS, you know, later on the road when you can use shadow and stuff like that later more comfortably down the road. But like, it's going to break it up like that, and it's going to be awesome. Like that's one thing I've definitely been trying to investing into is using Google Sheets. Outside of that, I'm planning on getting fit. I want to lose a little more weight. I've been doing the push-up regiments. That way, if I'm sitting here on a flight path, I'm just sitting in my chair.
That's so real, though.
I know, right?
Like, and I think like somebody, you should actually put in your mind, if you die, you should be doing 10 push-ups.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Dude,
you know what? I'll throw that in the video. I'll throw like a little like punishment workout. Like
yeah, punishment, man.
every time you parry or get parried, you have to do 5 push-ups.
That's too much. That's too much. But like, if you have to take a res sickness, that's like 100 push-ups. Go.
Yeah.
Shut up. If you're in shape, man, yeah, dude. That'd be so. Atticus, you can do that.
Yeah, I mean, I could, but I'm not going to.
I could, but you know.
I'm definitely not fucking going to.
And then one other thing outside of like getting the guild prepped, because I'm the guild leader for it right now, which is going to be an extra. What I'm going to use it as is a sister guild to Invictus and Invicta, along with Dawkins.
My guild.
Yeah, I know, right now. So the idea is, if we eventually get people who want to go a little bit harder than what we're providing, I'd throw them to the hardcore guild. Or if we need to help out that guild at all by pugging, hey, readily available. That's what we're here to help out with. If not, we'll be doing our own thing over here. Like, I literally, like, there's a coalition of, I would say, about 4 of us in total that are going to work together, hopefully, relatively smoothly to get things done, kind of interweaving players in and out for different raid lockouts. Like, if we have a guy who missed the beginning of MC, but we have this other guild that's starting the night he's available, yo, dude, see if they can plug you in if they need somebody, because you know they're going to need it. So yes.
Well, especially in that first week or so, like, that's going to be...
Because I got some people
definitely a real thing.
I have like 6 people right now in the guild who are going to go balls to the wall. They're going to be there ready to raid right off the bat. And I told them, like, look, dude, I'm looking at maybe the 3rd week to be level 60 and ready to go. Yeah. And they're like, that's fine. We'll go pug if you don't have a problem. I'm like, no, go get geared. Do your thing.
Get it up, man.
We have one guy who's...
Come back and carry me up.
You guys ready for this? We have a guy who's prepping for the server we're on to have Black Lotus on lock. And what he's planning on doing is he'll be getting up at 3 a.m. every morning, playing for 4 hours, going back to sleep, waking up to go to work. And then rinse and repeat. He'll get home, he'll make sure he's got everything made, he's got everything on lock, and then rinse and repeat for the next morning.
That's so absurd.
Like, the dude has got like a schedule and a spreadsheet.
That's live, dude. That's live.
That dude's just like, this is going to be my thing. I am going to make sure we have Black Lotus. He's like, if I only get one of them, I only get one of them, man. But if I can get all of them, I'm getting all of them, man. He's like, as long as the spawns are the same, I got this. I'm like, okay, bro.
See,
I got faith in you.
I got
faith in you.
I'm not opposed to join. Like, okay, my big thing is I want to be like, I just need all the good stuff for PvP. I'm trying to be like the PvP god. I'm trying to have like Sulphurous. I'm trying to have like Bone Reaver's Edge.
I'm gonna give me some Sulphurous.
Whatever it takes. Like, that's one of the reasons why I want to lead a guild. But like, if I was in a guild that was like, nah, you're the priority for, because I'm gonna still be like Two-Handed Fury DPS. So all the gear that I'm gonna get is still going to be applicable to raid progression. So it's not like I'm being selfish or anything, but it's still like, what guild's gonna let me do that? You know what I'm saying?
Real quick, Atticus, and I want to ask you guys a point. Whether you're guild leader or not, you know, I'm planning on doing streaming. I've thought about this before. What if you're running Zul'Gurub, Zulian Tiger drops, and you know, say you're a content creator, you're trying to make, you're trying to get all the items in game. Obviously, that's a far stretch. I don't think it's going to be possible for you to do.
In vanilla?
Yeah, like even all the maps, like in vanilla. So. Okay. Would you use your streamer priority? Would you use your content creator priority, GM priority, and say, hey, if Zulian Tiger drops, I'm winning it? Well, like, would you guys do that? And do you think it should be done? Because I'm leaning towards, as much as I want the Zulian Tiger, how much more gratifying would it be if I won the role in a 40-man group, or maybe a 30-man group, whatever you're doing in Zul'Gurub? What do you guys think about that? Would you ever take priority over certain things? Obviously, somebody's got to take Sulphurous, and if you're playing a big role, vanity items are a little bit different than legendary weapons, right? But what do you guys think about guild leaders or content creators or streamers taking priority over certain items? Because if I were to have a big enough following to where I would have power to do that, I feel like I'd elect to say, you know what, I'm just gonna roll with everybody else in the spirit of vanilla. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? And then we'll go back to preparing. I'm just
before we continue, real quick, Atticus, you got a new subscriber on Twitch. You got an actual subscriber on YouTube.
On YouTube or Twitch?
On YouTube. You got welcome a new member. Like, you actually got a YouTube subscriber.
What?
Like not a, like a, I think that's what that is, right? When they get a member, they even have the green name that next to their name.
Yeah.
So like somebody actually subbed to you. Their name is Mikachu.
Mikachu.
Sure
Mikachu.
that's me, or is that you?
No, that's you. I'm looking at your YouTube, and I scrolled up. This person's got a green name, and it says "Welcome, Mikachu, new member."
I don't know. I don't see it
Well,
in my
welcome,
stuff.
Mike.
Yeah,
welcome, Mike.
Thank you. If you did that, thank you. I'm sorry. I'm an asshole.
I'm sorry, we haven't been paying attention to YouTube.
I don't even know what this stuff is. I don't know what's going on. I'm just happy to be here.
People, yeah, it is.
Free to action,
yeah,
easy way to lose people. I totally agree with you on that point. I mean, in my opinion, scrubs like, not scrubs, but you know, people who are way, way up, not going to name any names, way, way up on the, you know, stream
they don't
of
have to worry about
privilege
that
are gonna,
stuff.
they're not even gonna be part of that guild that they probably are in to run that. They're gonna be like, thanks guys, bye, see you later. Never remember your name ever again.
Like, I'm not, like, as far as vanity items go, I don't give a shit. Like, I give a shit about stuff that makes me perform better. Like, the only vanity I care about is how badass my character looks in his fucking PvP gear. And that I can't dictate because I still have
he'd look so much better on a Zulian Tiger.
Don't care.
Oh, damn right.
Don't
damn
care.
right.
I'll take a.
I want that Zulian Tiger.
I will literally take the most basic bitch fucking dire wolf over anything and not give a shit.
What is your opinion on that, Pogan?
I'm sorry, and what?
on
vanity
Zulian
items.
Tiger. He said Zulian Tiger, and I had flashbacks.
On the idea of being a part of the pool, is that the vanilla spirit? Is that the vanilla way? Or I don't know what your intentions are as a content creator. You might be waiting to drop some sick video if you were to get the tiger. Like, what do you think about that? Should there be a situation where?
I don't know. I don't know if I would end up ever utilizing something to make like content videos around.
Right.
Now, the Zulian Tiger, I have some stories with that, and so right before they pulled that thing from the game, I got it. No. 1 moment later, they reset the server. When it came back up, I lost it.
No.
I spent 3.5 years grinding that, soloing it as a warrior, and I got it, and they reset the servers on my ass to launch the expansion, and I lost it.
I'd be mad.
That's one of my main goals. I want a Hand of Rag, and I want a Zulian Tiger.
Yep.
I am going to get my goddamn mount.
See,
so,
all right, I'll make a
part
deal
of me
with
wants
you.
to make like part of me wants to make a video, but like I don't know if I would end up utilizing it to be like I'm gonna make the sick ass video about it. I'm just gonna go all nuts with it. That's not mine. That's not mine. I normally do a lot more community content. I want to know what people think. I want discussions, or I'm going to be doing stuff that's going to make you more attached to your character, make you understand what like you know how you talked about how you wanted to do, but you want to learn about Torn.
Torrens, yeah.
So I'm going to be doing videos on breaking down the different classes and going into the class lore and like your 10 top tips for kind of going into class lore. So like let's look at warrior. How to roleplay a warrior. Warrior is the easiest one to do it because it's the most plentiful thing in the world. Like that's the kind of thing I'm going to go with. But I can see where you're getting at. I don't know if I would do it, but I can see how it could benefit somebody if they were to do it. I wouldn't frown upon them. I wouldn't be like, oh,
Did you just fucking say we're the easiest thing in the fucking world? I'll fucking kill you.
No, you're the easiest thing to roleplay, not to play. Roleplay. I ain't gonna play you like that.
I love how it went into Batman voice.
what do you think about this? Because
triggered.
Like triggered. If I did have a bit of privilege as being a creator or being a guild leader, like anyone could be in this position as a guild leader, or even officers, higher positions, and they go, hey, guess what? This sick item just dropped, whether it's a legendary or a super rare mount. Guys, I'm gonna pay you $200. Like, I'll PayPal it to you right now. Oh, whoever were to win it, whoever wins it, we'll all roll equally, guys.
I just need deviant hides.
Like, would y'all do that? Is that in the spirit of vanilla? Like,
that's not in the spirit of vanilla.
No, that's not in the spirit. But I mean, like, you gotta.
Yeah, I think like, hey, I know you guys have been here with me and you guys have been raiding, but I will $200 to get that item from you.
Yeah.
Like, I would be that guy that'd be like, fuck you, $200. If I get it, I get it, bro.
Yeah.
No, but I mean, it's kind of in the spirit of vanilla because a lot of people, I bet people did that back in the day. Like, it might have Metathil.
But it was probably like $25 or $50, not too.
Probably, yeah, 20 to $50. Like, hey man, I know you in real life. Here's a 20.
I don't know, man. Spectral Tigers were 300 back then.
Yeah, and they were at 3,000 at one point too. But now look at them.
Fuck.
So,
I have the 40 or the 60% one on my retail account.
I think the only thing I might actually do that with, just with the streamer privilege I have, I'd be like, I'm hiring all something, is to get my black Karaji mount.
Yeah. I mean,
I actually went through the quest line and
Black
didn't
Karaji
realize...
mount, like that's not just one person gets it. You know, you can have,
that's an entire guild.
Yeah,
that's
but
an entire
it just
guild
takes a
helps
long time to do the quest, like for you though. So I mean, as long as you can dedicate that time and have some people help you out, then you know you're good.
Like, if I can get multiple people together to do it and get it done,
Yeah.
that Black Karaji mount, yeah, I probably would hire some recruits.
Yeah.
Just be like, dude, help me with this. I'll make sure.
I mean, let's speak.
You have that.
Let's not hypothetically, generously or optimistically. That's the word I'm looking for. Optimistically speaking, say that we all get to the point where we can sustain ourselves by just streaming and playing the game, right?
Sure.
Damn.
Is
Dreams
any
come
of
true.
is
That
any
makes
of
great
this stuff is any of this stuff like not possible at this point? You know what I'm saying? Like we can do all the AQ grinding we need to get that shit. We can do all the ZG runs we need to get Zillion Tigers. We can do all the rank 14 grinding we need to, like level all the alts and everything, because that's all we do. Like we ain't gonna play no other games. Like I'm not gonna play shit else. Like literally, give me classic WoW and I'm good. I would literally be a fucking fat neckbeard and sit here and play this shit all day over anything else.
Good thing you got your beard shaved there, Pilgrim. He's trying to move in on your bearded environments, I think.
I ain't threatened.
Sorry if I was encroaching on your safe space.
He gets the bearded one. That is.
All right,
I'm trying to grow
we're doing
mine, but I
Narrow
actually
now.
shave mine. My fiance got on me, man. Last stream, I had a nice one growing, and then she was like, shave it.
Hold up. So I don't think that the waves spawn for Narrow until you kill the first like set. Like you have to like kill the wave and then another one spawns. They don't just like spawn on top of each other. It's taking a long time to spawn this second set. Holy shit. Crazy.
Alright.
So back to preparedness.
Yeah, Graze, you're up.
Yes.
What are you doing?
You know, I kind of spilled the beans on it. The biggest thing to get ready for the game, other than wanting to get everything squared away on my guide content, that's kind of a unique thing. And no one can really relate to that. Because I want to have like this, I want to have this set of information ready for myself to participate competitively in a 3-man dungeon meta. And I'll talk on that in a second, but my biggest thing getting ready for the game, other than working out, because my health is going to be a huge issue. It was 60 days out, dude. What can I do between now and then? I really need to kick coke, dude. I'm still losing on that one right now. So fitness, but the biggest thing is reading up on the Tauren lore and Druid lore, how they tie in with the Night Elves and the Tauren, what their place is. Like I said, all the descendants of Tauren, whether it's Rune Totem, wish I knew all the tribes' names. They all mean something, and being equipped with enough knowledge to be able to roleplay on the spot, dude. Whenever I'm reading a quest line in the Barrens, and no, seriously, and I'm talking to freaking somebody, Rune Totem, I'm like, dude, this guy is a descendant of, I don't know, he's a keeper of the earth. He's a tree hugger, basically, and I can throw that in my role playing because I know what his last name means. Or this guy's an outcast with the rest of the Taurens because he's a part of this tribe. And they don't like anybody, and then I'm like, dude, that would blow my mind. Like, how much greater of an experience would that be if I'm reading through the quest line, and the quest text also sounds like a little edgy, like the guy doesn't like other Taurens, or he, you know what I mean? And it would just like it opens up a whole new element to the game.
Yeah.
And so I want to read as much lore, comic books. I don't know what the best thing to do is to get prepared for that, but man, just the depth that's going to add to my gaming experience. That is the biggest thing I want to have done between now and launch. 60 days.
You're gonna look up a guy. His name is Noble87.
Noble87. Oh,
Yeah.
Is he famous for like a forum post? Is that where
He is famous for Warcraft lore.
Noble 87.
So a lot of his stuff, he goes over Warcraft lore between now and on, like where we're at, like currently in WoW. But he does do like a pre-Wrath of the Lich King kind of. This is the lore of the game. There's not a whole lot there, but he goes into each of the factions. He goes into like all this stuff along with Doran's movies. His accent's a little.
I think I
Sorry, I'm having a fucking.
So I feel like a complete like dumbass. So I'm gonna say this right now. So when I have your stream up, and then I had def camps clicked, but I'm only looking like at the center of the screen, which is the same as ours right now. So that subscriber was for def camp.
Yeah, thanks,
I wasn't
dude.
paying attention. I got you hyped up for nothing.
Yeah. No, it's all good because I'm hyped right now. Just got fucking mutant scale breastplate, dude.
Did you seriously, dude?
Yeah. Fuck yeah.
Can't even equip it yet.
No, 20,
Oh my
23.
God.
Yeah, 23.
Noble is the OG guru, lore guru. Like I look up to that guy so hard, man. There's a lot of other stuff you can look up. Just look up like Warcraft lore, and then type like go into YouTube and just go down that fucking rabbit hole, bro. Just
I wish.
Yeah,
deep.
Nobel87 is fucking amazing. I used to literally like my brother gave me shit because I was sitting there and just listening to this dude just telling lore stories. Fucking wow.
The other thing you can do, Grace, if you look at the camera right now, you can get yourself one of these.
Bitch, you got the collector's edition.
I got this handed to me. I got this handed to me by my coworker. He's like, "Here's
What's
a gift
up,
for you."
Cargos?
Oh, you don't
Cargos
have
in
the
the
key.
chat.
I don't have
Yes,
the pet.
sir.
I don't have the pet.
Nigel
But I
in
got
the
everything
chat.
else for it. Hey, what up, bros? Welcome.
Hey,
Welcome.
and Cargos, while you're here, and everybody else in the comments, how much is lore playing a factor into your character? And I brought this up at the beginning of the stream, but dude, whatever race, class, combination you're going for, I highly encourage you to read up on the lore. Do you guys even care about the lore in the game, and does that change your experience while you're playing? Like does that make a difference to you? Is it all just numbers?
Beautiful,
That is
It's a
beautiful.
cloth map.
Lore, I do enjoy some of the lore. Like I like knowing it, but I'm not gonna like role play shit out. I'm not gonna like go out of my way to like find it. Like I'd much rather just watch it in video form. That's why Nobel's like awesome for me, because like he just shows nice little pictures on the screen and talks about it. It's great.
Like you're never gonna read quest text, Atticus. Like
Fuck no.
Other than
He's gone full poop sock. He's got no time to read.
Think I got time to read? You act like I know how to read. Come on, dude.
He's a warrior. He understands to kill.
I understand.
I don't know what this weapon is, but I know the sound it makes when it kills
Right.
him.
Well, this is what this is what I was talking about earlier. People may not realize, like doing a 5-man dungeon, 3 DPS, 1 tank, 1 healer. That's all people know. People just completing quest objectives, using quest helper. That's all people know. There's a whole element to the game that people are missing out on. Like,
I mean,
have you
I'll
guys even
agree.
humored the thought of it?
I'm not saying you're wrong. Hold up. Rare spawn.
But as I was continuing on here real quick, I want to show this to you because there are things that actually help me get into the feel of classic WoW lore. So I went out and spent some money on Amazon. It's not a whole lot of money. I spent some money on Amazon to get these. Besides this collector's edition, which was handed to me. The art book in here you can actually buy alone, but the concept art in here is kind of really cool. Like it actually goes over a lot of the class, like how the races themselves are put together in the beginning of the game. Like a bunch of orc lore or orc concept art and everything like that. There's no actual words in here. It's just an art book. But I get that art book. That back. That's not the art book. These
like that art book.
lovely things are the original Bratty Games guides. There's the official strategy guide, then there's the dungeon compendium, and then the master strategy guide. They go over every aspect of the game. You can get them for like $10 a pop off Amazon. But it also goes into stat breakdowns, how all of the bosses hit, how they're supposed to technically work mechanically, along with This is all the item stats and everything like that, along with monster stuff in the game, so you can actually look and see what monsters drop what. There's the dungeon compendium is my favorite.
Wow.
Because each dungeon, it gives you a breakdown of where all the
map
quests...
and everything.
Yeah. So, like, here's Normagon, for instance. This goes over Normagon. It tells you how many people can go into it. It gives you a brief summary of who you want to bring along with you. Like, if you want to bring mages over shamans for certain dungeons, depending if it's Horde or Alliance. How to fight Baron Rivendare. It even says, like, use CC in this case. Look for this ability. The fun thing is all these came out in, like, 2006. So, after Classic WoW was about to be done. Yeah. But these guides, they're worth it. They're actually really nice to look at. I still find myself thumbing through them. When I first did my first quiz, it was based off of this because it actually, like, in the one strategy guide, it gives you a breakdown of where everything is in the zone, all the sub-zones, along with all the quest givers, kind of.
It's a set piece, my brother.
This is
Just
actually
put that on your coffee table.
It sits right above my head here, next to my collector's edition.
No, you gotta have it out on the coffee table, man. Friends and family come over. What's this? I don't know. Go through
Oh,
it.
just what I've thrown my entire life into.
I also have the BC Dungeon Compendium, and I also have the Wrath of the Lich King Dungeon Compendium. The Wrath of the Lich King Dungeon Compendium, like, they up the quality like tenfold. It weighs like 20 pounds with how much inked paper there is.
Yeah.
So, what else were you doing for preparedness, Grace? Aside from like we know you want to like know. Oh my God, Bowen's Fang just dropped. Holy shit! Holy fuck!
What is it?
No good. Never mind.
Yeah.
No good. No good.
Oh.
It's a two-handed axe, but it's a 2.5 speed, and it's
That's a little quick.
Yeah, that's about
enough.
that's about all my preparedness is finishing out my guides and really reading up on the lore. And having health. But I just want to read up on a couple people that commented on the lore. Sane 235 said, "I'm gonna play my troll hunter named
Rajin.
relatives."
Named what?
Named Regin as region.
Anyways, as one of the Zul'jin relatives, I love that. I love tying in that last into your character's role. Also, Baron of Hell planned all my characters based on role-playing potential in advance, even if I'll never get into it anytime soon. Planned physical appearance and a rough lines of thought. Like, guys, how many of you really have focused on the detail? Maybe you haven't yet, but and you're going to do it whenever we get that opening loading screen to reserve our 3 characters' names. Like, we're going to be able to create our character. Like, how much of you put a lot of thought into how your character looks physically? Like, does everyone go click through every single design? Like, has everyone done that, or do you just?
Oh yeah, no, I care about everything.
Yeah, I have
the
exact things set for like what I'm doing.
There's no barber, man. There's no barber.
Yeah.
You got one chance.
I don't think I've
Not
ever
one
been
chance.
over
Not
here.
miss that chance.
One chance.
God.
One man.
This opportunity comes once in a lifetime.
I'm not gonna try it. I'm not gonna try to.
What the fuck?
Yeah, class fantasy is important. Yeah. And I just want to hit the last point on that class fantasy. And like I said, it's just one element that I've realized is all the Torn. They have there's 12 different tribes they've got, and they're all in game. Whether it's Rune Totem, yada yada yada. I should have looked them up. I've brought it up 3 times already. But if you understand this role-playing element into the world that you're playing, I'm telling you, as you run into these guys during the world, it provides a different experience. Maybe not.
It's the same feeling you get like when you learn them in lore. Like the only reason why we even like think about stuff like Cairn Bloodhoof, or like when you see like Uther or whatever the fuck, like in game, it's the same feeling. It's because you've heard the stories, you know what they've done. So it's the same thing. If you just learn all the lore for everything, it gives you the same feeling. You know what I'm saying? So that's like why learning the lore is. That's what you're saying by like learning the lore. You just get that like feeling of like, I know that guy and I know what he did.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Like,
that's a cool
guys,
feeling.
Leveling through all the zones. How connected do you feel to quest givers? You don't at all. Nobody does. Other than just playing through it, the quest text in their name, like, are you guys familiar with that? That's uncharted territory, dude. And so, the only reason I get so excited about it is because that's going to be a majority of where I spend my time. That's how I'm going to experience the game, right? So I want to share that with everyone else, and I want everyone else to be encouraged to experience the game in that way, because again, that's longevity to the game. That's different iterations, less burnout.
It gives you something to come back to.
Absolutely.
More and more story, man.
So that's how I'm preparing for the game. Who do we have left? Atticus and Hypnotic. Whoever wants to go.
Hypnotic already did, didn't you? Or no?
Yeah, for preparedness?
Yeah,
I was the first one, baby.
Oh, you're the first one.
True. So, all right, I got the plans video out, so I'm not going to go into too much detail with the things I mentioned in there, but I mean, briefly, I've got time off of work scheduled. That's perfect. I've been saving up money so that I won't fall behind on bills. I've got like a good amount in savings now. I got the like diet plan and all the workout stuff figured out. I mean, but like the workout stuff, like I already know it. It's easy. Like it's not hard to do because I do it every single day. It's just now I've got to do it with like less equipment, which is still not a big deal, but other people might not know, so that's why I'm going to throw it in the video when I make it. But then like the diet was something I had to put together. It's a little different because it's just like a little bit more geared towards fat as opposed to carbs. I'll explain it all in the video. But aside from that, I mean, I guess like that thing that I'm still trying to figure out is like the guild situation, because like I said, we had this great plan with a bunch of my friends who wanted to do like raiding, and I know that they're like good raiders, they always clear everything, but then all of a sudden they're like, well, you guys are gonna PvP too much, so we're gonna make our own guild, and we're gonna do hardcore PvE progression. I'm like, it's classic, dude. You're gonna do your hardcore PvE progression in freaking 2 nights and be done with it. Like, so that's annoying, but it's fine. It's whatever.
You have a place in my guild if you'd like it.
Yeah,
you probably could apply to Victus and Victa too.
Yeah, but see, if I do that, do I get sulfurous? I mean.
Not the first one.
You gotta show
up. That's what I'm saying. Like,
you get the second one.
I need the first one.
I get the first one.
There,
I get the first one.
I need the first one, dog. I need to be like ready to fucking just
all hail Emperor
wreck somebody.
Prograntane.
Honestly though, like I did in my pre-PvP guide,
I can't even.
Warriors, I think that Bone Reavers is probably still better than Sulfurous for Warriors because of the armor pin stuff.
Probably.
But it's still like I can't test that right now. Like I can test it like on a private server, like where I just spawn stuff in, but still, how accurate is that to Classic? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's like the only thing that's really up in the air for me right now is the guild route, which I will smooth out soon. I know I have some like you know, down as fuck friends that are still trying to play with me and like lead a guild with me. It's just not the same group of friends, so we'll figure it out.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I mean, we got space, man. If you want to come in, you don't want all that on your shoulders. We got space in Invictus and Invicta. Whether you want to be super hardcore, you want to be semi. We got two different raid groups for that. For instance, I'm tanking the group that Kargos, if he's still here, himself is going to be in. I'm going to be the main tank for that group. We're going to be Tuesday, Thursday, and then we have another group that's going to be 3 to 4 days a week.
Yeah.
With alts that are, you know, going to be also in the other group as well if they, so choose.
I want us to discuss this. How important is it to get your guild preparedness out of the way before the game drops? Like, how many people are going to jump into the game, let it organically happen? Hey, Gnomes for Life are recruiting members, you know, for the Horde, yada yada yada.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, I know. But like,
Gnomes for Life.
How important is it for people to get these guild plans ready before launch day? And how much of a disadvantage are you at if you just let it happen organically? If there's one at all.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I know that, like, my friends, the ones I was going to start with, if I were to even mention, like, yo, we should start putting the guild together now, they would fucking tell me I'm stupid. But then again, they don't, like, they don't play the game. Like, they don't play any private servers. They literally haven't touched Classic since Classic. And for some reason, I'm the idiot out of the group, but it's cool.
Right.
Yeah, with the preparedness talk, I mean, if you're going for top 5, top 10% percentile, even on your realm, you're gonna have to start preparing. If you haven't started preparing, you better be getting that guild together. Yeah. Now, if you want to, you know, just lay back, have some fun with, you know, your good mates, and not have to worry about all the, you know, the scoreboard, you know. I mean, internet penis.
Realistically, like the only thing that I really need is a weapon. Because I just need a weapon to carry me until the day I can push for rank 14.
Yeah, hey man, just get your a weaponsmith and make you one, brother.
Well, I mean, actually, Sulfuron the Sulfuron hammer or whatever.
Sulfuron hammer is pretty good.
It's really not bad. Like it's
right.
It's a step below, just barely a step below. Well, no, I think it's on par with like Bone Reaver's Edge, but that armor pin stuff, I still can't get over it. But
yeah,
anyway,
it's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be straight up armor pen, is it? I thought it was gonna be something else. That was like
you ignore.
It's gonna be the final tier, right?
You ignore 700 of their armor and it stacks 3 times. So.
Oh, okay. So it is in its final form. So it's gonna be super OP.
Yeah, exactly.
So Freedoc's in the chat. He said tempted to wing it with guilds, but I miss guild chat voice chat, and that might be the deciding factor for getting it sorted beforehand.
Yeah.
That is a big deal. I can't tell you how many guild memberships or guild invites I see on all these Discord channels every single day, dude. At least 10. Yeah, at least 10 on the ClassicWow.live Discord. Everyone's like, join this guild, join this guild, join this guild. Like, how important is it to start talking to your soon-to-be guild members nowadays and having it ready for that phase 1 raid progression, having it ready for that first experience. You know, that might be, I think Fredox is onto something. It might take you a couple guilds. If you don't prepare beforehand, it might take you 1, 2, 3, 4 different guilds until you find a group of people.
Right where you're at.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You find someone that
you find that home, man.
A group that you're comfortable with, because let's be honest, not that you have to be super picky, but man, I don't like to be in a guild with just every single type of personality. You know, some people are really easygoing, but man, if there's a couple people in there, the way that the guild's going, man, I feel like it would take me, I think it'd take me a few different guilds until I fit in. And so, you know, again, I think we've determined it, but it depends on what you're trying to get out of your phase 1 experience, because by the time phase 1's over, you're probably going to have found a guild and found a home, people that you enjoy playing with.
I would hope so.
Right. And it's on me, you know, I should be more open to different personalities, because a guild has 500 members in vanilla WoW, right? You're not going to love every single person.
367 to be exact.
Is that it? Yeah. Are they holding true to that?
I don't know. We don't know officially if they're holding true to that exact number, but yeah, it was 363 or 67. It was 362, maybe. I don't know. It's 360 something.
Yeah.
Is where the official guilds were. So I don't know if they're gonna hold true to that. I think it's gonna be it's gonna be based off of I think how much they allow per realm total, because before it was what, 3,000. So I think it's gonna be particularly higher than that this time around.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think that we're looking around like, I mean, let's say
5
top
to
end, I'd say 12K. The way they're talking about the layering system,
6K on each side, maybe.
Yeah.
Alliance and
like that seems not terrible, honestly. Like, because remember, we got to consider that the game is inevitably going to die out some. So if we have, say, 12K people on a server, we could theorize that eventually it's going to be down to 6K when it levels out. I would dare say we lose at least 50%.
Or even less than that.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, I just thought of something while we're talking about guild caps. I want to expound on this idea, and I think it'd be a good discussion point. But guys, how big of a deal do you think that guild limit cap makes an impact on the society, makes an impact on the server health? Like, dude, what if you had 1,000 member cap on guilds? Would that be healthy for the game? You know, everybody always wants more space, more space, more space. Dude, you know, first thing that comes to mind whenever I think of like 1,000 member guilds, it would create these unhealthy groups of, like, dude, the Anquirage, that like guilds are gonna come together for that AQ legendary mount, right? But like if you had 1,000 or 2,000 member guilds, dude, it would overrun factions on certain servers, right? And so maybe it's more healthy to have like 350 member caps. I don't know. That's just I've never thought about a high limit guild cap actually affecting the server negatively. Sure.
The one thing I could see, maybe the 300. Maybe the 300. I mean, right now the guild cap's 320.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I'll chime in just a little bit with that.
Go ahead.
Officer inside Invictus and Invicta inside that kind of guild. So we already have literally raid members signed up and like readily available inside our guild. Well over 100 at this point. That's just members who want to raid. So like on our side, we're like, man, 350, we might have to split into 2 guilds, and that's what we were thinking originally, is we may need Invicta and Invictus to be 2 separated guilds depending on what Blizzard decides on that cap, which is it's a very interesting topic.
So what are we saying right now? Is it 350 to 500? Can we comfortably say that's what the guild cap's going to be between those two?
I would think so.
But if 367 was a spitballed number, it was 500 in later iterations, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think it's going to get above the 500. I think we're going to see that 360 probably mark.
Yeah, I think it's going to probably stay right where it's at.
Yeah, I like smaller guild caps because it promotes you to like be a little more competitive. Because like think about it.
And also really care about who you let into the guild.
Yeah, like because you got to be like, all right, well, why would we let you in when you pull like shitty DPS or something, or like you're a toxic person.
If that's what you're caring for, or toxic people. My big thing is toxic people. Like if somebody starts like, they seem decent on the surface, but like they start blowing up at people and just being generally a dick. I'm not about that life. I'm gonna kick you right on the spot. Like I know my guild. I know my guild is planning on going a lot more softcore, kind of just more. What we're looking to do is if we're raiding, we're doing it to the best of our abilities possible. But outside of that, super laid back. But my fear, to kind of answer your question about having the larger servers, larger guilds, I should say, on the servers, is it causes a power vacuum. I know I'm almost 100% sure mafias are going to happen. I'm almost 100% sure because they have the cross communication right now, which is really really ridiculous. But then you have these guilds. What you do is if you get two very powerful guilds, they have some really good members. They know exactly. I mean, it can even happen right now with 300 member caps that we have. But like you got to know that people are going to look for a way in which they can corner the market, and this one guild will hold it down for the horde side of things, and then they'll have a partner guild, possibly on the alliance side, doing the exact same. So, you know, it kind of like I'm almost 95% sure it's going to happen. Now, whether or not it's going to happen to the extent I'm afraid of is, you know, completely up in the air. There's no way in hell that, like, you know, it's going to be. I don't think it's going to be that corrupt like it has been on the private servers. But you know, it's going to happen. There's going to be cross-faction collusion because you're going to need it to almost an extent. Because it helps out with like different raid bosses and stuff like that, world bosses. Like it lets people know that, hey, like, look, we're gonna get it this week. You guys can go on and get it next week. Or hey, let's go ahead and just do a quick little PvP event. Whoever wins the PvP event, let's go ahead.
You think that'll happen though with the inclusion of if they keep layering in the game? I almost said sharding, but.
We got
is it possible to even keep it?
I don't think layering's gonna be kept in the game.
No, I don't think so either. No. I think it's too toxic. There'd be too much of an
couple
outrage.
weeks maybe.
Layering would probably only stay probably the first month. I think we're gonna have layering for the month. And they're gonna go ahead and just kill that horse.
Yeah.
At least I hope they would.
Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
Real quick. Let's okay, go ahead.
No, it's just real quick. Nigel, he says, isn't the retail guild cap 1K right now? He says he's on the beta and the guild that he's in is sitting at 690.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy, dude.
Whoa. That's a huge guild. Dang, son.
We don't need that. Blizzard, if you're listening, no 1,000 person freaking guild.
Well, you know, if you've got 700,000 member cap, like, guys, there's not going to be 1,000 dedicated members. Half those guys are going to be alts. Half those guys are going to be AFK. Yeah. But it does
like
allow
in the
350. Right, but can you can you have a 350 active rating member cap, like a healthy rating member cap, where you distribute gear evenly between 300 active members that show up to raid night every night?
I mean, you'd have to have, what, 8 raid groups?
5 different groups? Yeah, 8 raid groups, yeah.
Like,
fucking God. Thermophiles. 935 members in his guild right
it's
now.
1,000. Yeah.
Jesus, man.
Okay, then it looks like we're probably gonna have 1,000. I mean, that answers that.
Again, no. This again is another thing that got rolled back in 8.2. It was at 1,000. They didn't change it.
By the way, Thermophile, give me a freaking invite to your guild or somebody. Like, Jesus, I'm sitting here guildless like a freaking peasant. I hate this.
You're a plebeian. You're a dirty plebeian. You get no guild.
I'm not worthy.
I was gonna say get Def Camp, get you in, man. Come on.
Yeah, Def Camp can get you a guild. They can get you an Invictus invite. I even have one on there for my private server character.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go through the process of trying to make mine.
Hold up, what is the Deviant quest anyway? Oh, for a freaking bag? Dude, screw this. We've been grinding this thing for like, we went through the entire dungeon, nobody finished it.
Isn't that a 14 bag?
Yeah, it's a 10, I think. Yeah. 10, yeah.
A nasty bag, you should definitely get it, right?
I've got 4 mage weaves, I'm good.
Oh, jeez, okay.
Oh, Grace.
What's up?
I'm going to link this to you real quick. I made a forum post while we're sitting here because we're talking about getting prepped. You guys want to go ahead and pimp this forum post out real quick and see what we can't do with it? It's about getting prepped. I want to kind of get your guys' opinions on it. This is the forum I threw together real quick.
Oh, nice.
But if you guys are interested in checking, it's just a quick, like, hey, what are you planning on doing to get prepped? Like, he got me thinking about it. I really am curious to see what other people think.
Absolutely.
I think it's a really good topic to bring up because I know Atticus, not to steal your idea, but I had actually already planned on making like what am I planning on doing for Classic WoW launch, but I'm gonna do it a bit different. But yeah, I'm going.
Oh, you talking about a video?
Yeah, like a video.
Bro, everybody does that. I ain't stealing shit. Cool. You're good.
Everybody does
and
that.
Everybody for Grace for Days here, for Grace for Days, because I know there's a couple other people out there. It's also on my list. I'm going to go ahead and squeeze out a little extra video probably this weekend on getting into the lore of Classic World of Warcraft. I got a bunch of stuff here. I'm going to go over each of the pieces.
Yes, dude.
Go and talk about it. You know my favorite thing about that collector's edition, though? It's his fucking soundtrack. It came with the soundtrack.
Dude, I just want to, honestly, I'm waiting for the day where I'm
The
just
artwork
like
on that
chilling
thing.
outside or something or grilling, and I just honestly hear a car go by with just like
It'll be me.
raging World of Warcraft
Dude,
music
what are you
just
talking
out of the
about?
car.
I
like,
already only blast World of Warcraft music at cookouts.
I was
Like,
gonna say,
Like I could see Atticus pumping iron to the Stormwind
yeah,
music.
no, literally though, literally. Y'all think it's a joke? Like I'm up in the gym just fucking blasting the fucking Duratar music and just.
that's
Oh,
beastie.
dum, 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 dum.
Dude, the Warsong Gold music is some of the best.
Fuck yeah, it is.
I like the AB music personally.
Yeah. Not that I don't already have all these soundtracks downloaded from the internet, dude. I
think we
seriously,
all do at this point.
I've got all these MP4 files.
There's
all
literally there's
Yes.
a video that on YouTube that has every single. This is what I use for my videos. It has every single like WoW Classic song in one giant video. It's like 3 hours long, and then at the bottom it has the timestamps for every individual song. So I've got that whole thing downloaded, and then whenever I need like a specific song, or if I'm just trying to like find something to throw on the video, I just go like onto the YouTube and then just tab through it until I find the one I'm looking through, and then cut it in the video thing.
Dude, I've already gone through every zone and tag and put it into the YouTube downloader, and so I've got like every zone soundtrack in a folder on here.
Nice,
I love it,
dude.
Beautiful.
Yep. I mean, I don't know. I just want. Man, I love the music. I fucking love the World of Warcraft classic music. It's so good. I was playing without it earlier, and then I turned it on, but it wasn't on loop, and I was like, no, I need to loop this shit. So finally got it back on loop.
Real quick. Good member of my community, Baron, he just wrote out a
Huge
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
I'll read it. So, a certain known content creator once has proposed to very dedicated and very efficient players. Nothing wrong with that if you think about it. But then he wants to make another side guild of not as much hardcore players, but still very dedicated ones and some normal players. What will happen at the end is having an Uber Guild 1 and then an average Guild 2. Guess how happy would be that X player that didn't manage to get in Guild 1 just because RNG, even if it's as much as hardcore as, even if he's as hardcore as those envy and dramas, he should have balanced everything out from the start. For both ones, in my opinion, if you plan to run a guild in Classic and manage more than 300 people, you need to understand that it's useless if Guild 2 can't progress just because you dumped all your hardcore players in. And he makes a great point, and I've heard. I'll say this: the first thing that comes to mind is some things that Invictus and Victor are gonna do. Egregious and a couple of the other guys on the Classic Live team are so pumped. They're so excited because they linked up with some guy that cleared Nax back in the day, original vanilla Nax. Is he
our
like
raid leader? He's
yeah.
Raid leader.
Isn't he gonna be raid leader for the sister
Black
guild?
Mamba. No, he's gonna be raid leader for Black Mamba raid.
Yeah,
group.
so and one way Invictus trying to alleviate this, because these guys are conscientious of this. We realize this is a problem. Guild 1 and Guild 2, and they've even renamed. Did they rename Invictus and Invicta to something else? Or the raiding teams to something else?
The raiding teams, just to alleviate people who are coming in, thinking that Raid 2 is not as good as Raid 1, but simply the fact that we are equally as good as far as skill level goes. We just don't have the amount of time. We call it Copperhead and Black Mamba. Copperhead being the guys who are going to be raiding 4 days a week, and then Black Mamba the 2 days a week, and then Sunday Fun Day if we do use.
Yeah, and it's crazy, dude. How can you balance 600 members? We're gonna have two different guilds, 600 people that want to raid competitively. How do you keep everybody happy? You know, and that's a huge concern. I'm glad, Baron, that you wrote that out, because it's a good talking point. Are the members in the Classic Live team, they're aware of that issue, and I think we're gonna see a lot of guilds crash and burn. You're gonna see a lot of big guild members.
How they handle that. Otherwise, what I think is gonna happen a lot, and we ensured that this would not happen within Invictus, but I think there's going to be poachers from like Raid 1. Let's say Raid 1, Raid 2, they're equally as good, or Raid 1's getting farther in, but they don't have as many people with, say, Thunder Fury, Blessed Blade of the Windseeker, for instance, like on your tanks, or certain loot is dropping in there versus their group. They're going to try and poach, and I think that's at that point there's going to be a crutch point that just bends guilds. That's just gonna, it's just they're gonna
That's a good
steal
point.
people, and yeah, it's gonna steal people, and it's gonna get real ugly real fast.
Yeah, it will.
But we ensured that wouldn't happen because we are going into the mindset that we are one guild, supplying for a common goal within two groups.
Right.
So we are one, but two at the
You know,
same
Yeah,
and
no, I get you.
there's a responsibility that extends beyond the guild leaders, the officers, the people that are in charge of distributing loot. And this is how raid night's going to be, you know, determining all the times. There's also a responsibility of the individual playing the game. How far you take that, like you know, we're going back to classic WoW. You want to be the guy that has sulfurous. You want to have a complete tier 2, tier 3 set. Do you sacrifice, you know, your tier 2, tier 3 set completely for the benefit of the guild, for the benefit of progression of guild 2? It just depends on what mindset that you have going into that, and I think that there's like a responsibility that goes beyond just the guild leaders and the officers.
Yeah,
I think it goes back to the player base.
No,
I don't know. And how do you guys view that? Whenever we get back into classic WoW, what's gonna be that big hoorah? What's gonna be the big defining factor for your character? Are you gonna have a full tier 3 set, or are you gonna be content being in a raid 2 raiding guild who progresses through all the content and everybody's happy? You know,
yeah.
Consider
No,
it.
I got you on that point. So I just want to, yeah, and I want to take away on that standpoint. Like, I was never a tank. I played warrior all the way through every single expansion, including Battle for Azeroth, semi-hardcore raiding and Mythic Plus and all that good stuff. And I'm coming into WoW Classic as a main tank for one of the best upcoming guilds. You know, not to toot our own horns, but in my opinion, it's gonna be real. Like, we got some real heavy hitters coming in. You know, so I've done. Yeah, we're gonna get stuff done, man. So it puts a lot on my shoulders, but at the same time, I did my research. I've played Warrior forever. I know every single mechanic that's ever been for Warrior. So like, tanking's not. I've tanked, you know, in a couple expansions, but this is vanilla. I never did. I was a warlord back in the day, so this is gonna be. This is what I want. This is my expectation. This is why I was like, hey, oh yeah, I'll tank like 4 months ago when Invictus was really starting to get the ball rolling. I was like, I'll tank. I'll take the warrior lead. I will come into this, you know, full fist pumping, like, let's go warrior aspect, because this is all I want is drillbore disc, full tier 1, and the coin cell sword from Oni, and just walk through org. Like, yes. Like, that is what I want, dude. Yeah, that's what I want. Because back in the day, man,
Skullflame?
I mean, you could have either or, man. As long as I can literally freaking, you know, the button, you know, the slash right next to numlock and just literally walk through org. Like, my big ass torn shoulders with full might on. Like, yes, dude. Like, that is where I'm like, that is the warrior I remember, dude. Like, Skull Flame Shield, of course, you had a couple of people, but the most people I remember is full might, drill board disc, the coin salad, you know, the huge ass glowing green sword from Oni. Oh man, that is where I want to be. That's where I was like, I want that. Yeah. That's what I want to do, man. I was a warlord back in the day, but that was the gear set I wish I had. So I'm going full warrior to get it.
For me, it's like the opposite side of that. Like, me, I'm just like, I want rank 14. I want rank 14 weapon and all the freaking warlord gear.
Everything that comes with it.
That's it.
Sure.
Like, if I can just look like that with a giant axe on my back, dude, I'm good. I'm good. So. Don't even
exactly, man.
Yeah, Sane235 said, I feel like Click's also running guilds.
Ruins.
Ruins.
I think. Or you mean running guilds, or you mean ruined guild? Ruined. I mean, I feel like clicks do run in guilds, and I feel like clicks do ruin guilds too.
Well, clicks run in any guild. I mean, clicks will happen no matter what you do.
We have a click right here. We have a click right here.
Yeah, hi.
No, I know.
Hi, guys.
Let's just circle jerk for the next 2 hours. Oh my god, they're so great.
Sorry, last Thursday on the stress test, we had a classic WoW.live stream. Egregious. A lot of the officers, cargos, and a select few people that decided to jump in the Discord speak, it kind of felt like a clique, you know, and not that I have priority over anybody else, but the fact that I'm in this Classic WoW.live team, it felt like I was, I know it sounds stupid, but like more important in a sense, and I didn't really like that, and I have the responsibility to kind of push that aside. Hopefully it doesn't happen organically, but like I think Sane's right. Like if you don't intentionally try to anticipate that, like it's gonna happen. Clicks are gonna happen, and it's gonna run in guilds, and it's gonna ruin them. And so that's something. It's a good point.
Who the hell do I talk to about this stupid glowing shard?
It should be on the dock. I think it's the guy on the dock.
That's what I thought.
But I get what you're talking about there, Grace. The responsibility and everything like that. I mean, it does feel a little awkward, but at the same time, don't really try to think of it as a clique. Try to bring people into it and kind of like get them to talk and stuff like that. Like, I as a content creator, I have people I have as fans at this point. I know I do. I'm small, but I know I have fans. Sure. And sometimes it's a little awkward just sitting in chat and talking with everyone and everyone in the guild when I'd rather just sit back with some of these closer guys that I know that are helping me run the guild. And it doesn't mean anything against the people that are in my guild or anything like that. I just am a shy guy, and it takes me a little bit more longer to warm up to people. And I've gotten to know some of these guys who've joined the guild. And they're all pretty awesome people. I'm just not on enough, and then I'm sitting there going like, I'm second guessing a lot of stuff, and I need to not. But that's just from my perspective because this is the first time I've ever run a guild, so it's kind of like, oh god. But like even when we get a chance to talk to the other content creators, like when I'm watching like Def Camp stream, I can message Def Camp, and he will message me, he'll call me out on stream or talk to me instantaneously, and I'm like, but Bobby Joe there just got like he posted 3 times and you didn't say shit.
Right.
So what I would say to that is to make sure you don't make sure that clickness can kind of end. I'll promote some of those people who are trying to talk quietly. Sure. Like I had a guy there was a guy who posted like 3 times trying to get the Def Camp to pay attention to what he was saying, and I'm like, hey Def Camp, what about this argument? Blah blah blah, brought it up, and the guy instantly got recognized on the stream and like, you know, yeah dude, that's a really good idea. Like that's kind of sometimes how you kind of play it, kind of help out a little bit. Like maybe you do have this in this certain community and you have this ability to talk to different people because of your position, but that doesn't mean you can't grab and help other people kind of come up to that point or get their points across or help them out in any way. Kind of get
and I think that goes beyond just content streamers. There's I mean again, like
even in a guild, like if you're a raid lead, I mean the idea like doing a for our loot distribution, it's completely like open report cards, like it's like DKP mixed with, it's a weird amalgamation of what we're doing. Nice. But somebody was like, yeah, I'm just afraid that, you know, it's going to be everyone's going to be buddy with the GM, and if you're not buddy with GM, then you don't get any loot. And I'm just like, I get that, but we're not going to worry about that. And I know a lot of times people are afraid of that clickiness, kind of like you just got to be that person to counteract that, make that sure that doesn't happen, make sure you are open. Like that's where we come in.
Even whenever I'm streaming, like right now I'm not paying attention to chat because I was in the middle of doing that shit and I couldn't see it, but like when I'm streaming my normal stuff, like I try to read and respond to every single person that says something. Not that I have a lot of people coming in or whatever, I'm not like crazy big, but like it's important, dude. Like I'm a nobody, but like just because I'm on a platform and I'm doing things and people are watching me, I become somewhat of a somebody.
You're a role model.
I mean, in a sense, but at the same time, it's like there's no real reason for me to be. But I mean, I get why it is. Right. But yeah,
you get boosted.
You
get boosted up in that.
Yeah.
In that, I guess, in that frame of mind, you become.
Yeah, you just gotta try
a little bit bigger, and I agree with Program as well. It's like I go into Kargos's chat, man. Like he'll have 500-600 people watching him, and I'll just be like, "Yo, what's good, Kargos?" And he'll just be like, "Yo, Hypnotic Bud, what's good, homie?" Like that feels good, man, and that's awesome to be part of, you know, the community that's building this. You know, not only helping him build his community, but also for like our guild in general. But you know, at the same time, you're right, Program. It's harder for because we're not there for like, you know, 500-600 people. Like you're just getting spammed, dude. That's like spam messages, like just and they're not only trying to talk directly to Kargos, they're also like talking within the chat, you know what I mean, like to themselves. So it's hard to like, especially while you're trying to, you know, power level all the way through it, you know what I mean, like
it's a lot to pay attention to, but I mean, like, it's just you just gotta try. Like I said, I mean, like, if you make like a valiant effort to try to like notice every single person and try to do that, like, no one's gonna get mad. No one's gonna feel like left out. It's just like, but you know, like, you can't. Like, you know, the big streamers, dude, they never fucking notice shit. I mean, I got, like, Vin Rookie replied to me one time, and I was like, oh, that's cool. He's got, like, 2,000 viewers right now. But still, it was just, like, that made me feel special. If I'm ever at that point, like, you best believe I'm going to be trying to reply to everybody. That's why I try to reply to every single YouTube comment as well.
Yeah, like, we had Hamster Wheel, dude, on Goodnight AZEROTH 7, dude. Like, oh my god, I was like, as soon as I saw Hamster Wheel reply, dude, I was like, oh shit, what up, Hamster Wheel? Like, what? Like, that's a big deal, dude. That's a, you know, that's a power player right there. Hamster Wheel ain't no pushover, like, just coming in here.
I want to collab.
You know, he's got like over 30K subscribers. I'm pretty positive about it.
Real quick, Thermophile just wrote another piece, and I want to talk on my experience that I had in the stress test, but Thermophile said something interesting is going to happen on release. All these fake classic flavor of the month streamers are going to pop up right. And as people try to filter through that nonsense, they're going to find our channels, people who are playing WoW passionately, and you're going to get droves of people sticking around.
That's true.
Interesting. And you know, Thermophile, that didn't go the direction I thought it was going to go. But it's true. There's going to be a mass influx of players that come in. You know, like you said, these fake classic flavor guys, or maybe not even just fake, but people that are trying. Curious. They're bandwagon people. They're trying to ride the wave. But also people. If you're not familiar with the classic WoW community, if you're not familiar with the norms of classic WoW, like, dude, the environment of classic, like, vanilla WoW, the standards of the game were developed 15 years ago, like real life standards. And I feel like 15 years ago, in the future, or 15 years forward, it's different. If you're not familiar with this community, like, it's true. Thermophile's right. Like, maybe that's not a bad thing. Like, we don't have to conform to how it was back in the day. I think new ideas, new trends should pop up. But absolutely, in vanilla WoW. Sorry, I'm trying to think, but in vanilla WoW, it's such a different environment than, say, take for instance retail or just most games in this era in the last 5 years, right? Like, guys, during the stress test, and this is what I wanted to talk on, I had someone playing with me, leveling with me. The guy only knew retail.
Oh god.
Real quick, Pogan, your keyboard's going crazy. It's driving me nuts.
Oh, I am so sorry. My mic got a little bit closer.
He's going ham.
Yeah. So,
I'm just typing like crazy right now, man. I'm sorry.
So during the stress test, I was playing with this guy who was a true cata baby. I mean, the guy literally started at the end of Wrath of the Lich King. He's 19 years old, and we're playing together, and his etiquette, his norms, his tendencies were cracking me up, dude, because I don't know if it was like this new age player kind of thing or this retail kind of player, but like, dude, he needed on greens. We're in a 3-man group, and he hit need on some recipes, on some BS gear that nobody needed, and he clicked need, and me and Thor were like, okay, I see how it is. I see you clicking that need button. Like, really, dude? Like, you really a dick?
Oh my
like,
God.
Why'd you hit need? Like, nobody hits need on these games, right? And it was cracking me up. All the things that just come naturally to us. You know, if you want to call real people that have been there from the start, real classic people, like, it's separated instantly. Like, no, I mean, but I mean, if you're, yeah, I'm just saying though, like, so to Thermophile's point, yeah, there is going to be a mass of streamers that are coming up as bandwagoners, and people that are coming up that just want to experience the game. It's going to be a different environment in classic this second time around. Like, how much pushback is there going to be? How many groups are there going to be of people needing on crap that they don't need? Like, that's a big deal. And I know we talk, blacklisting is going to take care of it. Servers are going to take care of it. Like, is it really? Like, I think there's going to be maybe even more players playing classic that aren't playing it. Is it really going to be that big of a factor? Like, is it going to matter that much? Can people just get away with needing things this summer whenever classic comes around? Will it filter out? I don't know. It's just the experience I had leveling up with this guy who had never played classic before. He was too young. It was so profound. It was such a weird experience. I was like, dude, this is gonna be classic. We're gonna be playing with all these people. are they going to be punished? Is there going to be so many of these people in a server environment? I don't know.
I think they would be. I'm
It's
going to be
just
right.
rambling.
Because what's going to end up happening is these guys are going to come in here and think they're top shit, and they're going to get destroyed by people like Atticus. Like, I'm not kidding you. Atticus is going to turn around the corner. You're going to get somebody who's like, I'm going to play the Alliance. I played WoW before, but I've only started in Kata. I know what I'm doing. I'm going to play a Paladin. Atticus comes around the corner and just cock slaps them. Like mushroom strap right across the face. They're
Bruh,
dead.
Mushroom
2
snap's
seconds.
the only.
Sorry.
Visuals,
Sorry for the visuals right now.
No, I mean that's
Kapow!
it's real though.
It's like basketball when they're like in the
Yes. Or Atticus is sitting around the corner like
Like,
licking
over
his axe.
there.
You ain't ready for Wait, where's that axe? Where's his axe?
God.
He's just sitting there waiting for them to get around the corner.
Welcome to Thunderdome, bitch.
Bitch. Atticus of Swifty or Swifty are going to wreck those plebs. Yeah, Atticus or Swifty are going to wreck those plebs.
Yo,
Oh my god.
no hate, but like Swifty needs to do some serious brushing up on his classic
yeah,
knowledge.
because I saw him
Clap.
play
Easy clap.
a
Easy
little bit.
He literally
A little
like
worried.
he was
Oh.
sitting there playing the other day. I was watching and he was like, it was like, wait, what? Disarm? What? It's a bug. No, it's supposed to be 50%, but I'm like immune to disarm. And he's like, I'm gonna go report this bug. Reports the bug. Someone in his chat's like, it's not a bug. That's how it works with weapon chain. And then he goes and mouses over his fucking weapon chain, says immune to disarm, and he's like, oh, I had no idea. Like, I don't even remember weapon chain being 50% disarm reduction. Like, I remember it being immune because fuck a weapon chain after any kind of expansion other than classic WoW. You got it on like your fucking
Well,
Well,
PvP.
he's played WoW since day one, right?
Yeah, but like there's so much. Like that's just one thing. Like I've seen so many things that he's just sat there and been like mind blown by because it was just because it was a
Yeah,
different classic.
there were some cringe-worthy moments for sure. Watching him, I was like, "Oh, bro, come on now." Like,
It's the age, man. He just doesn't know it anymore.
It might be.
he's. I mean, I've played the shit out of the entire game, every expansion,
Sure.
Yeah.
and I still remember like weapon. Come on, man! Like that was the whole point. You can't be disarmed.
Yeah.
A few things. I mean,
Fuck that.
Swifty's in the retirement home. We're gonna put him in the home.
That's awesome.
like come on, man.
Oh, hey man, have a good night.
Remember some of
Yeah,
that.
we're gonna probably close up
Yeah,
here
we're
actually
wrapping
pretty
it
quick
up
too.
right now.
Yeah.
Actually,
pretty quick here.
so any
so-
closing remarks? We didn't even talk about right-click reporting being gone, but real
Hey,
quick
yeah,
to
by
touch
the way,
on
real
it.
quick.
It's gone,
Yeah.
but we don't know if it's actually like a bug or whatever. It's just not in the game anymore. There hasn't been a blue
not
post
there.
on it, so good
We can
stuff.
talk on it next week. Let it
There's
sit,
been-
see if
Yeah.
anything else comes out in the next week.
Yeah, there has been official like tweets and stuff like that actually people have gone to the game code and it's been removed entirely.
That
So,
would
but
be
we'll
phenomenal.
hit on that next week though.
Yep.
That's about it. I mean, I got nothing else. But for
Alright.
those sitting in my chat, real quick before we sign off, I'm going to send you guys over to Dev Camp. Give some love back to the man who's shown us so much love.
Yes.
Yes, but
Dev
before we
Camp.
go, shall I?
You can do it. Be creepy.
You shall.
Okay. Good night, Azeroth.
See you
Get ready
later.
for the raid, boys. Here we go. Thank you.
Oh
Thank
my
you so much.
God.
Hold up. Wait for the raid.
I don't know what's going on.
Hold up. I gotta wait 2 seconds.
I was not ready
One.
for that.
Raiding now. Raiding now. Good. You're good to kill it, man. Thank
Alright.
you.